Honestly, the life of a truck driver seems very. I don't know.
I'd do it.
Tell me.
Elaborate.
I think I would want to do it. So I was like,
Well,
hey,
you're already the Gilgo Beach Killer, so why not?
you travel now.
Why not join the serial killer union?
Hey,
Yeah.
I mean, shit. I get my little card.
Yeah, you get a little
meetings.
meth punch card.
Yeah, you got a little parking lot pussy.
Yeah.
You know? So you'll
Yeah.
suck your dick.
Tom, you took it to the next level. You just killed their whole.
What?
What? I thought that was part of the appeal for you.
I'm just kidding.
That's what you like.
No, I don't kill them.
I didn't say kill. I was talking about getting your
Not
dick.
yet.
Why would I want to?
They
got
gotta
to
finish before you kill 'em.
voluntarily celibate, dude.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Mike's voluntarily celibate,
Oh,
which is a reason to celebrate. We
A
have a new
vol
show. A vol, yeah. The old vol cell.
Yeah, I mean, get that. That dirty talk. I talked to a priest yesterday. Is this recording?
Yeah, it's recording.
Yeah.
wait.
Priest
No,
yesterday.
save it. How was your week?
No.
You talked to
We're
a
just doing a
priest.
cold open. This has
Yeah,
been great.
this is the start of
This
the
cold
episode.
open.
Mike's changing
Connor, you're
careers.
already in
He's
it.
talking to priests, and he's, gonna be a truck
Yeah.
driver.
All right, hold on 1 second. I got it. Connor, bring up a good point. Let's just get it out of the way. Hello, welcome to Roast Mortem, the only show worth quoting on your research papers. I'm Tom.
I'm Travis.
I'm like,
I'm Connor.
Bingo bango. All right, since we had the cold open, go back to what you were saying.
I
Yeah.
talked to a priest yesterday because he was yelling at me. We were like, I was skating after work, and he was yelling at me for not skating like in front of his church and shit.
For not skating enough?
For
No,
not-
for skating in
Yeah.
front of his church. He's like, I'm getting sued by the town for the sidewalk and shit. I was like, how's a town gonna sue a priest?
Well, because they
Also-
have endless money.
Yeah.
why?
that's right,
why,
yes.
why are they like suing him over skateboarders?
I think he just didn't want us there. But he was like, I wanted to ask him a question, but I forgot at the time.
Be quiet in here. I'm looking at my TikTok.
Was it the priest that married your sister this week?
Oh, that dude was cool. He was throwing like the Wu-Tang sign and shit.
Was he?
Yeah,
What?
Was he
He
cool?
seemed way too
He
excited.
Was
like-
he cool, Mike? Tom and I were there.
He was, I don't know, I was in the holy room. I was looking at the fucking the fiddling room, I guess you'd call it. They fiddle around with the boys and shit.
The diddling
Yeah,
room.
it's the fiddling room.
The diddling
The
room.
fiddling room is up near by the organ.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
right next to the nave.
We got holy water on tap. It was pretty dope.
Yeah, man.
And this is a really long Hauser week, but I've been getting off taquitos and I've been switching to beef jerky.
Mm.
It's good
Mm.
protein.
And I got kind of sick today because I got inside the crevice, like at the end of the beef jerky. There's like a little bit in the crevices,
Yeah,
the
of course.
corners of the bag, and it just didn't sit right with me.
Ooh.
Mike, what's your jerky of choice? Are you a Slim Jim man? Or are you going?
I was
premium?
Jack Links today. No,
Woo!
Yeah, teriyaki style.
Mm.
Dude, look at this guy. He's wearing cuff links because he's buying Jack Links. That's expensive.
It's quite the upgrade from the taquitos.
I
Yeah.
kind of miss him.
Congrats, Mike.
You cut that out. I was like, I don't want to hear myself talk about my week anymore.
Keep it in. Repeat it.
Who's next?
Mike, it's, you know what? It's Connor.
Connor, you're next.
how was
How's
your week?
First half of the week was great. Like I said, the three of us were all at a wedding. We all had a great time. Then people started getting COVID from the wedding.
Right. First super spreader event.
Yeah, including my wife.
Yeah.
So we're about to quarantine for 10 days. Lizzie,
Oh,
I know you're
fun.
listening. Have fun.
Hey, Lizzie. Sorry.
You can download these podcasts well over 6 feet away.
That's true.
Yeah, that's the great
Listen
thing.
to the
Is you can
soothing
listen
sound
to
of my
show
voice.
Yes.
If people have COVID.
You know, that wedding, you know what, Travis, tell me about you.
No, I want to hear more about this COVID wedding.
All right, the COVID wedding. So we're all tying our weeks together. 'Cause
Yeah.
it
We
seems to be
spent a
very
lot of
similar.
time together.
Yeah, so congratulations to your sister,
Yes.
Allison.
Well, thanks, Allie.
Yeah. And thanks,
Shout
Allie.
out.
This is
Shout out to Allie and Quinn. You know,
I actually noticed there was no take-home gifts for the guest, but then I found out it's microscopical.
Yeah.
Mike-
It's
Oh,
real
yeah, you
tiny.
get a little
Real
vacation
tiny. And not
after-
everyone got it.
Yeah.
yeah, a little vacation.
I'm
you know.
negative. You're negative.
I'm negative. Yeah.
We're all negative, probably because we're men.
I think it's because we stayed up until 4 a.m. drinking whiskey.
Yes, I think
the,
that's
the night of the
killed it.
wedding, whereas all the other people who got COVID went to bed. So
Honestly,
Yeah.
I thought you guys wanted to kill me at the end of the night.
No,
Why?
I was
'Cause
just,
It was 3:30 in the morning.
Yeah,
Everyone was passed out, and I was just like, "You guys,
yeah,
where are the friends?"
Yeah, we're still
it's
talking.
just us.
Yeah, we're
Yeah.
shooting.
Oh,
the
you,
shit.
Tom, you were raging hard. You're
I was
just
raging
We
very
were
hard.
out in the moonlight smoking cigars.
Yeah.
Yep. I probably
Hell
blasted a bottle and a half of brown throughout the whole day, and it was a great time.
I
And,
had a good time. Yeah.
and honestly, I think everyone's going to be all right with this COVID thing.
Everyone's doing all right.
And also, first time we're doing an outside episode.
Yeah.
And
It's weird outside.
Yeah, I was told to go outside, not because of the COVID thing, but because I am a
Responsible.
I am a irredeemable homophobe, and I was joking around. I said, "Gab, the guy's got AIDS," and they're like, "Get outside." It's a joke, but it carries very little sense of humor amongst the homophobes. I'm finding out, myself included.
I see that fern behind you. You just have to rub that on your sack. And
Yeah,
then
exactly.
You,
This is actually
you
I,
get
this
rid
is
of
a
the
gift.
AIDS.
This is a gift from Mike Pence.
Oh,
Oh no!
Yeah, after I let him
Who's
suck
that
my
guy?
dick, he sent me one of these.
I mean, but when he sucked your dick, was his wife in the room? Because she's.
I
gotta
think they're
be
the
there.
same person.
Oh, okay.
Well, either way,
Hey, respect.
it's been good. Travis, bring us over to Portland, the city of dirt, the city of garbage scum on the street.
Yeah. So Portland may be a little dirty, but I'm getting fucking fresh, dude. I got my tweed suit because I like suits now.
you got tweed suit? That's fresh.
I got this whole book on how to be a gentleman.
Oh,
I'm all about trying to wear suits all the time, and I've been experimenting with men's fragrances, some eau de
Ooh.
parfums and eau de toilette.
okay. Travis stepping it up.
It's got some smells going.
do you smell
I
like?
got myself a nose trimmer because I had spiders growing out of my nose.
I desperately need a nose trimmer.
Yeah, I got one recently. It's a life changer.
I've
I can
been like-
sleep better now.
I bet I would too.
Yeah. Well, as much as I love plucking them out, it's really satisfying hearing that like.
Yeah.
sticking in your nose.
I'm gonna if I get one, I'm gonna miss plucking them out and then seeing like the giant one that you're like, how is this not like down to my chin when it was
Yeah.
in my nose?
Yeah, it's really.
This one
up
was
there.
growing
right next to your
out.
eyeball.
This one was growing out of my brain.
I gotta trim mine. I guess I haven't done that ever. I don't think.
Now,
See, I'm
once you just turned 26.
Is it gonna start happening? Now?
Yeah, it's gonna start happening.
Oh,
Yeah.
fuck.
I didn't have.
Yeah, they're
to do
coming
it.
out a little bit.
I'll use my electric trimmer on it because it has like that flip up thing, so you can like kind of get in there. But I need the dedicated nose trimmer.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Well, Travis, so you got a tweed suit and it's a tailored fit.
Tailored fit. I got to take it back. Well, it was bespoke. That's the key word, right? Everyone loves using that word. Bespoke.
Love
Like when you go to Burger King and they make a bespoke Whopper. 'Cause
Yeah, you use it all the time when I use.
There's no pickles on mine, even though I like pickles. Extra pickles on mine. But I had
Okay.
to bring it back to the tailor to get it altered. Here's the
so
thing.
you had a bad tailor.
Well, no, I measured. I don't
Oh,
know.
you measured. Oh, okay. So it's
Yeah.
not really tailor fit.
Yeah.
Okay, that's enough of how your week was. We've been rolling for a few minutes. We did a soft cold open there.
Sorry
Zwick,
about
leave
that.
all that in, especially
I'm all about,
Mike.
I'm all about soft
you
and
should
cold
cut
things.
mine out. It's
Yeah,
like-
Mike's
Mike's
going to be
Mike's
working with
adventures with
US
priests.
Express, working 13-hour shifts.
Yeah. Where am I
Taquitos.
working? U.S. Express.
It's a shipping company that I own stock.
Oh
in.
yeah, me too. I forgot about
I
them.
told you to buy it.
I'm gonna forget about them and think about them in 20 years.
Perfect.
Wait, Mike, before we actually start the show, I feel like our fans need to know, how's the Doge going, dog?
Oof.
It's better. It's not worse.
It definitely can't be worse from Mike's starting point.
It's in the 20s, I believe.
Oh, all right, in the 20s. I
Okay.
heard that siren went off when you said Doge. I think
Yeah.
the Elon police are coming after
That's
Yeah.
us
Oh,
outside.
God.
Yeah, that's us outside. The
It's me
Elon
hiding.
police. You can hear it all. So, pardon any sounds of crickets, because here we are in the backyard. Okay, enough rambling. Travis, who's on the chopping block? Who are we murdering tonight?
Yes. Okay, so as we saw with Connor's wonderful episode that I couldn't stay around for the whole episode, I'm really angry about that. We saw that in Roman times, people were really, really, really smart. Well, as smart as we are, They had government, they had like paved roads. Then people got incredibly dumb. And so now we're coming a little bit out of being incredibly dumb. And I hope you guys are ready because you know it. You love it. We're going to medieval times, baby.
Yeah.
Is
Give me
that
a
what
turkey leg?
Yeah, you got to eat with your hands like that off a pewter plate,
Mm-hmm.
and you
Yeah.
get to call the ladies wenches.
That's cool.
Love that. That's
Yeah,
my
you-
favorite part.
Best school trip ever.
Yeah.
I
Many
love
times.
religion too.
Well, when you get the quarters and you try to chuck it in the cleavage, here's your tuppence.
Yeah, you got to chip them in the tooth, Oh, sorry, I was just trying to throw currency at your breasts.
Good old
So-
days.
More specifically, obviously, you guys know medieval and Middle Ages, same thing. That's what medieval means. But more specifically, we're going to be in the most middleist of the Middle Ages, the High Middle Ages, to smoke weed.
Okay.
420 Middle Ages.
420 Middle Ages.
Thus far.
It's cool.
And whatever historian came up with this terminology also was smoking dank weed because it goes early Middle Ages, High Middle Ages, and late Middle Ages. Why don't you just do early, late, later?
I feel like none of that shit ever exists. That's
Early,
crazy,
double,
man.
middle, late.
Yeah.
What? Why is that? What? Is that a formal complaint we're lodging against the guy who's been dead for 400 years?
Yeah, I am. It's a formal complaint. Stupid historians.
Early one, the high one. They won't see that coming. What? Who cares?
So just to define the Middle Ages, it starts with most historians consider it to start in 476 with the last emperor of Rome, Western Rome, Romulus Augustulus. And the end of the Middle Ages is contested, but it's like the 1600s-ish. It kind of like stops in different places at different times. And then you go on the Renaissance. Just to give you an idea. Because,
Nostradamus time.
yeah. So I want to give you this context because the whole month we are going to be talking about an empire that you probably never heard of called the Angevin Empire, a.k.a. Franland or Ingfrance.
Definitely.
Infants.
Friendland. That's what they used to call friendlies. Come on in and get a ice cream sandwich that looks like a gremlin on us.
There are wenches in here, too.
Yeah. Come look at a bunch of miserable dads because we don't serve beer.
So the Angevin Empire is basically like France and England combined. It's the start of the house of the, and I will fuck this word up. I'm going to go through the entire fucking episode.
Connor,
Fuck it up.
Connor, can you help him?
I'll try. I don't even know what word he's about to pronounce.
But you know.
The Plantagenet.
Plantagenet.
Plantagenet. The House of Plantagenet.
Plantagenets. Yeah.
English kings.
I could be wrong, but that's how I always thought it was.
That
He
is
says it
I've heard
confidently. We're going with it. I'm a salesman, okay? I get 10% of the credit for that.
I've read like a bunch of books on this because this is a 3-parter, and I've watched a whole bunch of documentaries, and for whatever reason, I can't say this word. So I'm probably still going to fuck it up, even though you corrected it.
Plantagenet?
Plantagenet.
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 Yeah.
Plantagenet.
No, you're saying tan. Taj.
Plantagenet.
Yeah. There you go.
Taj.
All right, well, what's up with these planters nuts?
So if you're familiar with English history, you might know the Plantagenets from the English Civil War called the War of the Roses, where they lost to the Tudors. But we're going to go a little bit further back. Now, originally, I was just going to roast a king called Richard the Lionheart. You may have heard of that guy. But then I started to write the script, and I was like, you know what? His dad was an idiot, and so was his brother. And there was so much stupid shit to talk about that I was like, fuck it. We're going to do the whole royal line of succession.
Ooh.
That's right.
Okay.
We're doing 3 episodes in a row of crazy medieval conversation, and then the 4th one of the month will be a lot of fun.
Of one nuclear family, also. That's what I love about this.
That's great.
Yeah.
It's basically trailer park trash. Like the richest people in the trailer park.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Oh, folks with the double
I
wide.
love what you said there. And this is my next slide, was that I want you to throw away the idea of, because I feel like whenever you jump into English stuff, you're always like, ha 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 ha. I want you to throw that away, because this is like
Not actually.
there's no
words.
me ladies, there's no governors. This picture a trailer park. They just got their COVID stimmies. Everyone's out buying jet
Oh,
skis
sick.
and fucking their cousins and chugging Mountain Dew.
England or Alabama? Which one is it?
If
Yeah.
you could do like the Vinnie Jones degenerate, like everyone talks like this. Everybody.
what we're working
Dad, I
with.
just came in from outside where I found a few of them peasants that we keep on the property fingering some of our pigs. So I joined in and then killed them.
Yeah.
What a time to be alive.
Yeah.
So
I'll say that.
just a throwback. We roasted Edward II, and I talked about how he used to have to paint crosses in the inside of his castle because the courtier bros would be pissing on the walls inside his castle, just like unzipping their fly and pissing on the wall.
He
So
sounds
he
like a
painted
party
crosses, and he's like, "Don't pee on my walls." That took place 100 to 150 years after what we're talking about. So
What?
yeah,
Wait. So people are peeing inside the castle on the walls?
on the Edward II episode.
Oh,
so
yeah.
this is not what we're talking about now. We're just painting
Sorry,
a
I'm
barbaric
pretty
picture.
hot.
They probably are peeing
Yeah.
on the walls, but it just wasn't a story because no one thought that, hey, maybe you shouldn't pee on the walls.
What Travis is
National.
saying is back in this time period, and even today, most of the English people were trash.
Just people with trash in general.
Where do you think America learned how to be such trash from?
England.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's how we got
Or
it.
the descendants.
the only thing I will say about misconceptions about the medieval England and medieval times in general, I feel like if you watch a Netflix series nowadays, everyone's just covered in mud all the time, and they're just like wearing leather and
hot.
garbage.
Yeah.
It's very
hot.
brown and gray color palette.
Yeah.
In reality, the Middle Ages actually was extremely bright. So, like, think of
Really?
like
Oh, yeah.
laser tag, like like
What?
As like flamboyant as the colors could possibly be.
I thought they
Yeah.
only had like 3 colors back then, like gray,
No.
black, and
They had
like,
way
white.
more.
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah.
It was all like American Ninja Warrior or some shit. Like all the.
Because they're all fucking wearing wool, which is like the easiest thing to dye. So the and like dyes is like the only thing that these people care about to like trade for. Like that was what the wealth was dyes and spices for our food.
That is
Yeah.
weird. Yeah.
Brighten up our dull lives.
I
They
would've
didn't
never
have, they didn't have
thought that.
iPhones yet
Yeah.
or anything. They're like, I don't know. We don't really need shoes. Just put keep my old shirt and make it shoes.
Especially if you're a nobility, you're gonna have someone to wash your clothes. You're not gonna walk around with mud. Like I was watching something the other day. Maybe it was The King. That's like on Netflix, and they're just like the king is all fucking dirty all the time. Like why?
And who was the
Showering
king?
sucks back then.
Who was the king? Was it Rocco Siffredi?
Yeah.
Covered in mud.
So yeah, I mean, if one of these guys walked into your house for a sandwich, you'd probably be like, "This guy stinks." But these people also brush their teeth, probably not well, but like
They had toothbrushes back then?
yeah. Well, you use twigs.
I wonder when the British forgot about that.
Yeah.
Like when did they?
Boy.
We should just ship them some now. Isn't that the stereotype?
Yeah.
Can we just send them something?
Send them some Crest oral gel.
Apparently, we know that Colgate and all those other ones, Crest, not loyalists, apparently.
No.
Huh.
I mean, joke's on us because even our insurance companies don't cover dental. So,
Good point. Good point.
okay. So enough with the long intro. Well, let's jump into our first penis boy, English king.
Whip it out.
As I mentioned, Papa Henry II. Now, before we even get into him,
Thanks.
More table setting.
yes, I have to set more table because, of course, this is nobility. Everything is very complicated and very dumb. And yeah.
It's like, I feel like I'm going to your house and you happen to live in Brooklyn and you're making your own coasters out of old vinyl in front of me.
That's it. I'm doing everything backwards.
Yeah.
And you can't have a drink until the coasters are made.
Just waiting there. Thirsty.
So we actually already roasted the event that shaped little Henry's destiny, and that was the sinking of the White Ship in 1120. If you want to go and listen to that, you can go back to our 2020 countdown where we talked about it. But basically, King Henry I of England, and also Duke of Normandy, had only one son. His name was William Adelin. And he was out partying in France with his son. And Henry I goes back to England, crossing the channel. And William hires basically a booze cruise to ferry him and his half-brother and half-sister, a bunch of other royal fuckheads across the channel.
Okay.
Now, the ship hits a rock named Quillybuth. It's got a O-E in that word. I don't know. Connor, maybe you can help me.
No clue. I'd have to see it spelled to even make a guess.
Also, welcome the plane in the background. And I will say that probably every journey was akin to a booze cruise around this time.
Yeah.
Of course.
Yeah, you're drinking more water, wine than water.
Right.
I mean, a couple dudes driving around Ford F-150s, few oat sodas.
Why not?
Yeah.
Ah.
So this ship hits a rock, and the only person on board with enough wrinkles in their brain to just hang on to the rock and save himself was a butcher named Ruin, and he was the only one that lived out of this ship.
Great.
But again, if you want the full rundown of this, you want the Phantom Menace experience to the Angevin Empire, go back to the 2020 countdown.
Okay.
Now, with Henry I's smooth brain boy drowned, he only had another child that was in wedlock. Remember, there's bastards involved. There's, the kings are banging ass everywhere. By banging ass, I mean banging vagina and shooting their seed into vaginas.
Right. Back when people had some common sense.
Sow those fields.
Yeah.
But also bang ass, too.
Yeah, they probably did.
Yeah, probably
why
that
not?
too.
You got a hole?
These people are not that creative. Hole next to hole.
Yeah.
Gonna try it.
Yeah.
Gonna try
This one
it.
smells
I mean,
good.
there's not a lot of entertainment.
No.
Yeah.
What else is there to do?
Read the Bible. Fuck a prostitute.
There was no. You
There's
couldn't
no
even read the
Bible?
Bible.
Not at this
Yeah.
point. The
I thought they had
literacy is-
one down like the local store. You go and like.
No, you go
There's
to
like
church.
one
and
Bible,
the priest
right?
reads the Bible to you in a language you don't know.
Yeah.
Oh fuck me.
And you sit there and go, "Oh, that's beautiful."
Like, yes,
You're like-
sure, whatever you're saying, buddy.
I would have been a hillbilly somewhere in that time. That's crazy.
You
So
have like the same literacy rate you have now.
What do you mean? I'm very intellectual. I have you know. I went to community college.
I can't stop looking at you right now.
Why? Why don't you look at me through the GoPro?
What, through the?
Why don't you look at me through the screen?
That's tinier up there. I see you in person. People pay good money for this. Continue, Track.
Henry had a daughter named Matilda, but I mean, those don't count, right?
No.
Daughters, they don't count. Well, it seems that in some weird progressive way, or just a way to save his bloodline, Henry I didn't see it that way. He appealed to the English and Norman barons, and he's like, look, I got this daughter. Sure, she can't play baseball, but softball's all right, right? That's cool. This is a bigger ball.
Yeah, I mean it's good to be outside.
Yeah.
Gotta get that sunlight once a day.
On top of that, Matilda was married to the Holy Roman Emperor. I mean,
Ooh.
they didn't have any kids, and he died. But technically, she was an empress.
Okay.
All right. So she's doubling down. She has royal blood.
Married
to
an
the
emperor.
Holy Roman Emperor. He's dead. So now she's what? The Queen of Ings?
Well, the baron's like, oh, sure, yeah, she's an empress. You know what? You're the king. You're the son of William the Conqueror, so we swear an oath that Matilda and her future offspring will be our monarchs. Done.
Okay.
Right? So
Easy.
he's got it good. Now, Henry's like, all right, that's great. Matilda, you're going to be next in line. I'm going to marry you off to a guy named Joffrey
Plantagenet.
Plantagenet.
So wait, hold on. Is it just Jeffrey?
Yeah, Jeffrey.
Right. But with the GEO?
Yeah.
GeoCities
Geoff.
Jeffrey?
Yeah, I wanted to do Game of Thrones style because I thought it was more irrelevant.
I don't know. I never watched Game of
Well,
Thrones.
wait, was his name just Joffrey? Because that was a name then.
It's weird because some of the things called him Jeffrey, and then some of them called him Joffrey. Kind of just switched.
Oh, just say Jeffrey in a French accent.
Joffrey.
There you go.
Joffrey.
Joffrey.
Nice.
That's probably why it happened.
Joffrey.
Joffrey.
So
Shit.
yeah, he's like, yeah, I'm gonna marry you off to this guy. Remember, Henry I, he owns Normandy. He comes from William the Conqueror, who's a Norman. Normandy is in France, if you don't know. Remember, we stormed the beaches.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Never forgetty.
Never forgetty, dog. So he's like, this count is the neighbor of Normandy. He's Anjou, like the sauce.
I love that sauce. That's the
Yeah.
best shit.
Shit's tight.
I like dipping
Yeah.
Dude,
that.
you got to start carrying that stuff around. Throw it in your beef jerky.
Fuck. man.
Rehydrate
Oh.
that
You're
jerky.
gonna fucking kill me, man.
I'm not
I'm trying to live long.
Get that low sodium jerky.
It's not the same. It's like drinking diet soda. It's not.
You're right.
Don't do it.
Mm.
Just drink water or something.
And so Henry goes to his daughter, Matilda. You know I love you. Go fuck a lot. Have lots of babies. Become a baby factory.
Ugh.
So our family will own both France and England. I mean, I'm gonna be dead, but that be sick, right?
Yeah. Also, when you know you're going to die before you see any results of this, it's a lot easier to call shots.
Yeah,
So
that's true.
I totally agree where this guy's coming from. Hey, fuck more.
Okay. Sounds good to me. I like this guy.
So Matilda and Jeffrey get married, and Matilda's not too thrilled about marrying a count. I mean, her last husband was an emperor.
Right.
Count
Give
Dracula.
me a
or some
fucking
shit?
break.
Yeah.
What a chump.
And it was also said that the I can't say the fucking name of the family.
Plantain?
I can't.
Plantagenets.
Plantagenets.
Yeah, there you go.
Yes.
Sound
I'm
it
gonna fuck
out.
He's going to forget it. Like,
I'm gonna forget. I've
Plantagenet.
already forgotten. The Plantagenets were said to be cursed. So there's a curse
Ugh.
lingering over them.
Did they not carry Madame Zeroni up the mountain?
Say that shit.
So,
good.
according to legend, one of Geoffrey's ancestors, a guy named Geoffrey Greymantle, Count of Anjou, was married to this woman. We don't know her name. We don't know where she came from. But anyway, she was the Countess of Anjou. And whenever she would go to mass with her husband, she would leave before communion.
Oh.
One day,
Gluten-free
the Count was like, yo, bros, to his knights, stop my wife from leaving before communion. So then she gets up to leave before they hand out that bread and juice, and the knights grab her. And she screamed. She let out a deafening howl and then flew out of a cathedral window.
Wow.
Really?
Yeah.
That's
No
sick.
way.
So
Yeah.
cool. I just watched Blade 2.
Yeah. Now
Damn.
it said this that the
Plantagent?
She was a
Plantagenets.
freak.
It
That's it.
said that the Plantagenets.
Plantagenet. All right. I'm also as bad as Travis. I just don't have to say it as much.
Yeah. It said that the Plantagenets were the spawn of this devil woman. 'Cause
That's
she,
far.
she had babies. And that all of their descendants had a furious temper and were just general assholes to be around.
Yeah, but they could fly.
That's fucking sick. A
I don't know. Maybe she didn't give that trait to her kids.
Oh, that was a
little
non-dominant
selfish,
trait.
mom.
You don't want to, like, immigrant parents move to the States and they don't teach their kids how to speak their native tongue.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of boomers have dealt with that.
Yeah.
Same thing. Mom, you didn't teach me how to jump out of windows.
Didn't teach me how to fly.
You didn't teach me how to fly so high. You just gave me that Lenny Kravitz CD on Christmas and called it square.
Call it a day.
So anyway, Matilda and Jeffrey have hard PP sex and enter tonight's subject. In 1133, Henry II, or as he was just known at the time, Henry Plantagenet, I got it, I think,
Nailed it.
or Henry Kurtmantle, or Henry Fitz Empress.
What
he
the
has a lot
fuck?
of names.
Let's call him Henry.
Yeah, let's
Okay.
stick with Henry, please.
Let's call him Hank.
Hank.
I like Hank,
Hank.
too.
Let's go with
Yeah.
Hank.
I like Hank.
Now I can finally put my fucking drink down at your dinner party here. Let's get into him.
Yeah. So
Have
in
some more cheese.
1135, Henry the First, so it would be Henry II's grandfather, dies. Now remember, all the barons made an oath to Henry that Matilda was gonna be next in line. But guess what? She's a girl. So Matilda's cousin, Stefan de Blois, who had also sworn an oath to Matilda, he swoops in. He's like, "Yo, my mom was William the Conqueror's daughter, and I have a penis, so it looks like I'm king now. Thus, we have King Stephen of England."
Good for him.
Yeah.
Getting his joint on.
Mm-hmm.
Now, of course, this is England. They have a lot of civil wars. And the fact that this guy Stephen just swooped in, there's some barons that were still loyal to Matilda. So this starts a civil war. It's called simply the Anarchy. Yeah.
It's a good sign.
Things must be really going well for your
Yeah.
whole historical era to be called the Anarchy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you other folks want? We don't even know. But we're going to kill you.
And the anarchy lasts from 1135 to 1153. It's a very long period of just like, you could be walking down the street and there's some baron just raping your wife and
Oh my
killing
God.
everything you know.
Gotta be on your
good thing you're
toes
not-
back then.
Good thing you're not married, Mike.
Hey,
One day.
Oh, I don't know.
So I think we've mentioned this in past roasts, but basically Game of Thrones is just based on like amalgamation of all English civil wars and a bunch of other historical events.
Mhm.
They throw magic and fucking zombies and shit in it. So Matilda, along with her half brother, grows an army in France and invades what's rightfully hers. And this battle would continue for 15 years in the anarchy. Now, during this entire time, Henry II is growing up in France, and all he knew from a young age and what Matilda drilled into his head is that he is the rightful heir to the English throne. Yeah, that's a great way to build
His
premium
ego?
brat.
Yeah, shit.
Yeah.
He's probably a little shithead.
Yeah, that's. Yep.
I mean, you
I
got to think
fucking
of
hate kids.
think about how many people like our age who were just told they were smart too many times.
Oh yeah, that's very hindering. I will
Yeah.
say that a little too much praise.
Well, you're smart.
Yeah.
Well,
You're talented.
What are we?
You're gonna go D1. You're gonna go D1, kid. You're gonna fucking make it. Look, I went to community college. Look at me.
I work at Aflac.
Yeah.
Well, see,
We're in a
it's one thing to
supermarket.
have just an entitled dumb kid, but Henry II was also extremely well-read and educated. The guy read books his entire life when most people didn't even know what a book was.
That's crazy too to think about.
He's got to be great to have at parties.
Well, yeah. Also,
got
his
the
one
books.
downfall that we'll see is his blinding rage. He often would just not be able to control himself, have total temper tantrums.
Really?
Steroids,
That's
you
fun.
think?
Yeah, steroids.
Well, here we go. So, flash forward to an event that happens when he's a full-grown adult. This is like after he becomes king. One of his courtiers pissed him off, and he started rolling around on the floor. He then ripped apart his straw mattress and started to eat the hay.
Oh.
So you're saying that retarded people can read?
I don't know if I've ever been so angry that I start to cosplay as a horse. So
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
I just can't stop myself. Everyone said I was smart. I can read the books in the Latin.
I gotta eat my bed.
Oh, this Casper mattress, it's so good. I got such a good discount on it.
It's a little dry.
A little dry. Now, if you were having a Casper mattress, hot Casper gravy,
Casper.
you know what I'm talking
Ooh, a
about?
little au jus on top.
Little au jus, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Continue.
So, at the age of 14, Henry decides, I don't want to wait to be king. So, in 1147, Henry wrangles up a bunch of mercenaries, which, those are always great troops to have, very loyal.
Yeah.
He hires a bunch of ships in Normandy, and he launches an invasion of England to reclaim his throne.
Hey, how old is he?
14.
Damn.
Could you imagine that?
I was like fucking playing like Call of Duty 4 in my room like a loser. This dude's fucking.
Conquering England.
Hey, he's taking the shit by the reins, trying to fucking. What the fuck am I? God, all right, take a Trav.
It's not a fair scale.
I guess you're right. Yeah,
Don't
I gotta
beat
think about
yourself up.
time.
I mean,
Yeah.
Mike, you're not perfect, but also
But damn.
it's different back then.
Yeah, you're also not nobility.
Yeah,
True, that is also right.
You weren't handed. Oh, do you need to hire?
But you think about when you were
Do you
14.
Do you need to hire a
Does your-
personal army?
Dude,
That's true.
you probably had an allowance at that point. That's like
No,
the
I never had
last
an
couple of
allowance.
years. No allowance. All
There's a
right.
secret allowance.
Hey,
You'd be like,
Dad,
"All right,
can
I'll
I-
spot you
Hey,
here."
Dad, can I have $550 million so I can have an army?
I'd be like, you'd be like, talk to your mom.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well,
That's what
here's
I'm
the
saying.
thing. Here's the thing. Keep in mind, his
would.
father, Jeffrey, didn't know about this. His mother didn't know about it. She was off in England somewhere. And his uncle, who was like leading his mother's attacks, none of them sanctioned this attack. He just was like, I got money. I'm going to get an army.
Fuck, yeah. Real life Call of Duty, I guess.
Yeah.
I knew a kid who wasn't allowed to use the oven when he was 19.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was a nice kid. He was just super dumb. His
So,
parents were rats, by the way.
Yeah, that's probably not a bad thing, you know?
Yeah, they went up to have their house burned.
I don't know.
Continue,
Yeah.
continue, Travis. Take
Yeah.
us back to England.
The army's target was a place called Wiltshire. And this little 14-year-old kid had about 400 mercenaries at his disposal. Now, Henry marches his troops. They land. They get out. He marches his troops over the wall of Wiltshire. And he realizes that not only was he outnumbered, he didn't have enough money to pay all the mercenaries in his army.
Uh-oh.
So
Backing out.
He's sitting there. He's like, I can pay for 60% of them, so I'm gonna get those 60% to kill the 40%.
yeah.
Also, could you imagine that feeling of like being a mercenary and working for a 14-year-old? It's got to be like these Juilliard people who like have to work at Disney Channel.
Yeah.
You know, as a background dancer. You know, like
I'm an oil painter.
great. You want to do graphics for Pepsi?
I guess so.
You want to be a junior designer for Pepsi for ads in India?
How about
You love art?
Crystal Pepsi? I like that.
Yeah, Chris, we'll bring that back for you. Just kidding, you're scum.
You are going to work on a brand new series called Baby Shark. It's the highest of art. Yeah. So he's at this wall and he can't pay his mercs. And so the soldiers just start to leave the encampment. They're like, I'm not getting paid. Like a whole bunch of fucking French guys. Well, I think they were from Flanders. And they're just like, I'm not getting paid. I must leave. Henry starts having an absolute tantrum and he sends a message out to his mummy. He's like, Mummy, please give me money. I can't pay these deadly mercenaries. And she's like, no. Like, I didn't tell you to do that. Go back to your room, you dumb 14-year-old kid.
Also, got to paint the image here. What's happening? This probably, he realizes he doesn't have the money. He tries to get it from mom. This is not a Venmo request. This probably took like 4 weeks for the mom to just be like, no. Nothing's happening.
No,
And all the
man.
guys are leaving because everything was just slow back
Yeah.
then.
I was thinking he's like sees the rider on the horizon. He's like, "Fuck yeah, mom sent the gold." The guy shows up and just hands him like a pamphlet. It's like, "Sorry."
It's like, don't kill me.
Yeah.
You know.
He asked his uncle. Nah. His father was busy fighting in France. He's like, no, I can't send you money. I'm strapped here.
We have a
So-
real war here, not one of your play wars, okay? I have a real house. I don't care about your pillow fort that's going on here. I had a problem with
I have a
the
mortgage
furnace.
to pay. Do you know what that means?
We were going to go out the other week, and guess what? The furnace broke. Okay?
So then Henry turns to his mortal enemy and the man that he meant to overthrow, King Stephen. And he's basically like, oh, I'm really sorry. Can I have some money to pay these troops and I'll withdraw? And for whatever reason, instead of Stephen being like, no, fuck you, and like killing this kid and like not having to worry about anything, Stephen pays him. And he
Stephen's
leaves.
an idiot. Stephen deserves everything bad that comes to him.
Yeah, not smart.
So Henry returns back to France. His father officially makes him the Duke of Normandy. And this should really piss off the English listeners. He returned to England once during his teens and was knighted by David, the King of Scots. So you got a Scottish English king here.
Oh. Well, look, all of our English listeners, very smart.
Mhm.
They're surrounded by idiots.
Mm-mm.
Idiots who would fly off the handle if they didn't have context. But our listeners are very smart. So don't worry, Travis. Sorry, I had a chip in my mouth for like half of that. Continue.
So in France, he builds up his experience as a war leader, going on the offensive and attacking. Remember, he's the Duke of Normandy. He's attacking at his borders and trying to expand his territory. This really pisses off the King of France. It is Louis VII. I told you we were going to talk about another Louis. This is Louis VII.
There's so many of them.
Yeah. Why are they all into that name, by the way?
Louis.
Like France and the name Louis.
I don't know.
It's, like, why? I don't know.
Hey,
Continue.
Louis.
It's not
That's a good
important.
question.
Yeah. Just throw it out there. If you're
What's
mulling
a
around thinking
common
about France
English
a lot.
name?
Henry.
Henry. Yeah, there you go.
There's a lot of King Henrys.
Oh,
Yes. So Louis is pissed at this kid. He's like, "Stop it, dude. You're kind of cool. And you shouldn't be attacking my shit. You should be attacking King Stephen because King Stephen has your throne." And King Stephen was set up to give his son Eustace the rightful heirship to England and Normandy.
Okay.
So,
Can't have a guy named Eustace. What's
Yes.
what was that?
Probably dog.
Church the Cowardly Dog, yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
So
He's a
Henry
mean old
starts
man.
to Henry starts to focus. Henry actually pays homage to King Louis. So he's like, you're my overlord because I'm the Duke of Normandy. This is a whole big thing in medieval times about who pays homage to who, and
He's sucking them off.
yeah.
Yes, like anything you do in life, you gotta suck someone off to get to the higher platform.
And you could be king and still pay homage of like one country and still pay homage to like another king because you own territory in like their area. It's very confusing.
Maybe some of the young men should check this out. Maybe instead of asking for blowjobs so bluntly, hint at homage.
There you go.
There you go.
You know,
Foot
you're
in
still
the
not
door.
going to get it, but it might be
Yeah.
fun.
Yeah.
It's a fantasy world that we're messing with. Is it not?
Well, you don't want that what if.
You want an homage, is what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're trying to get
I'm gonna do an homage later.
you're trying to get a 30-minute homage because you're not used to the feeling of a mouth.
So, in the process of doing this homage, there's all ceremony, you know, where he gets down on one knee, he's ready to go, and then he like kisses his hand.
There you go.
Henry peeps Louis's sexy ass wife, Eleanor of Aquitaine.
Oh, I know that name.
Yes.
What-
She's probably one of the most badass bitches in medieval history. I mean, is that what you've heard?
Yeah, pretty much.
All
Yeah.
right, how do you mean badass bitches? Like she drove her Honda Odyssey and did laundry faster than everyone else, or was she?
No, she was like, I don't care that I don't have a dick. I'm still gonna
okay.
choose my own way through this world.
Okay,
But
Unlike
fine.
Matilda, who's just gonna marry and make
produce
babies.
kids. Yeah.
right. Okay,
Yeah.
cool.
Eleanor's like, I'm gonna take destiny in my own hands.
What?
That's fun.
Yeah. I mean, we've had some. We've roasted Jonah Arc, and we did Angus Blen Becken, who were both like medieval-ish women icons, and they're not icons. Eleanor of Aquitaine is a fucking icon.
All right.
Put
She
that one
also
down.
she also lived to the ripe old age of 82,
That's
which is
hot.
almost like unheard of back
Yeah,
then.
very impressive.
Sheesh.
Give me a call today, Quigley. I'm around.
That
Yeah.
gilf.
Yeah, so Louis and Eleanor of Aquitaine never had any chemistry. She actually said, I thought I married a man, not a monk.
Oof.
Oh.
God.
Brutal burn.
Yeah.
Because monks aren't men.
They're off drawn in their books at this time.
Yeah, like these brown Christmas tree fellas walking around.
Shaving the top of their heads.
Thinking
Yeah.
about shit all the time.
Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean to take that. I need to deconstruct that joke. It's good. It's a good burn.
And on top of that, we know that as a king, we've done kings before, your main goal is to squirt out men. You got to squirt out little boys. And Eleanor was cranking out only girls for Louis. Their relationship was on the rocks. So when Eleanor met Henry, they probably got a little thing going on. Louis didn't really want to be married to Eleanor, so he got the marriage annulled based on the fact that they were too closely related.
I
Yeah.
don't know if that actually.
How many
Yeah.
kids do you have with her?
Well, yeah, no, they were already married and having sex, so the church didn't
Yeah.
seem to have a problem with it because the church would be in charge of being like, you guys are too close related together. Like, maybe you shouldn't fucking bang ass. But they'd still do it anyway. And then if he wanted to get, because divorce was pretty much unheard of in the day, they'd get annulled, which basically means that the marriage never even happened.
These fucking people.
Yeah.
Just
These
making it up as they go.
Yeah.
You just erase it from history. No
No,
one's gonna
well, it's
cell
not
phone.
like you could be divorced. You know, we can't recognize that you were. But how about if we all give each other a bonk on the head?
Who are you?
Let's all pretend this was a bad dream.
You're my cousin? Oh, hey.
Yeah, whoa.
Get out of my bed.
These are my second cousins or are they my kids?
Listen, we're not married anymore because I talked to these guys in brown robes and they said that they'd be able to do that for us. So I'll see you at Easter.
That's crazy that shit worked.
Hey, our
like
last
that
kid
back
had
then.
12 toes, so we're done.
He's gonna be a good runner.
And she was a girl.
It was a boy with 12 toes. We can make it work.
Yeah. So Henry wasted no time getting them sloppy seconds. 2 months after they had the marriage annulled, Eleanor of Aquitaine and Henry were married.
Okay.
Now, yeah, this made Louis eternally pissed off at Henry.
How old were they? I just want an age thing right now.
So actually, this was one of the rare cases where Eleanor was older than Henry.
Yeah, that's what I said. She's a little.
Yeah, I think Henry was
Damn,
around.
Henry's sly dog.
I think Henry was 19 at the time, and she was probably in her 20s.
Henry, my man.
Yeah. No, they did marry them young. Where we will talk about stuff like that, but in this situation, I think she was really young compared to Louis. I don't know.
Oh,
how
she
old
was.
he
All right, never mind then.
but-
Well, it's like you got a younger man. You don't have to buy him a Harley or a Gibson to stay around. It's a good bag.
Yeah.
Eh.
Henry was, Louis pissed off at Henry because he's like, that was my wife. Why'd you just go after her like that? Henry is laughing his way to the bank because now, not only did he own Normandy, he also owned Anjou and Aquitaine, which, if you can imagine, I really didn't know the regions of France, but if you can kind of imagine like England and France as like a line, it goes like Scotland, England, Normandy, Anjou, Aquitaine, roughly.
Okay, it's a good way of looking at it.
So,
Also,
coastlines.
as we did Robespierre last week, France is confusing.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, it's telling me.
It is.
It wasn't even France at this point.
Oh yeah,
What's that?
yeah. You had mentioned that.
It wasn't even France, right? Or was it? Were they the
Well,
Franks
yeah,
by
it's
now?
like they were technically so Louis came from the Franks, so they were like that was France technically, but it was like half of France.
Yeah.
So it was like Paris was part of France, but that was like kind of the Seine was like the divide between like Louis' territory and his territory. So
A lot
at
of
the
shit to keep
age
track
of
of. I don't know how they did that shit.
what's that?
Like, how the fuck do you like keep like? There's no cell phones. There's like fucking word of mouth or like put letters and shit.
A bunch of privately hired cartographers kind of like, well, this is where it is. No, you're right. It's very
yeah,
confusing.
it's all like
I
just
mean,
like made up.
it's hard enough with today's day and age to put a podcast out every week. Could you imagine what these guys had to do to be like, that tree's on my side?
Yeah, like how the fuck do you even determine like
Yeah,
the
how do you
map is
record a
right?
podcast back then?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah,
I feel
fuck.
like borders,
Ridiculous.
but there was no Oklahoma back then. I'm just saying. It was mainly like,
there's no straight lines.
yeah, it was like, you see that river? That shit's mine. That shit's yours. You know?
I get,
Or
I
like
see
that
what you're saying.
coast. You know?
Okay,
Yeah,
No processed
mountain
lands.
ranges.
Yeah, mountain ranges.
that shit's mine right there.
So when Henry was 20, he's like, all right, now's my big time. I fucked up when I was 14. Let's do this invasion. I'm going to England. So he lands in the shores of England in Devon, and he begins to take castle after castle. Now, King Stephen had been doing a pretty shit job running England. So a lot of the barons that were pro Stephen are now like on Henry's side because Stephen just sucks so much.
Do you think if Stephen hadn't paid out for those mercenaries on Henry's behalf, that they would have second thoughts?
I mean, that was probably the straw that broke the camel's back.
I mean, because honestly, that's like the weakest thing I've heard on this show in a long time.
Yeah, he's pretty dumb.
This is 6 years later. Maybe they forgot about it.
6 years later?
Yeah, he's 20 now, right? He was 14 when he did it.
Yeah,
That's
14.
true, but I mean, 6 years, like,
It's a lifetime back then. That's fucking right. They only lived to like fucking 40 or something.
No,
I don't know.
50, right?
I think that, yeah,
No,
they lived
misconception,
to, like, that's a
really.
They lived to like 60s,
Yeah.
70s
Yeah.
was old, 80s was old, but like the reason the life expectancy was 31 was
Hygiene.
because like half of the people that were born died in childbirth.
Ah.
So
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
they know how to do it. We don't have eggs. This is the problem. Humans, if they had giant eggs that came out of us and it was a lot
Sick.
smoother, it'd be way easy.
much easier.
We're aliens. That's why.
You don't see bird moms dying all the time. See a lot of. Look at them. What they have to do now. You gotta bring these women's in. They have these giant bellies.
I was a
crack 'em open.
C-section. I was split open. They fucking pulled me out.
Right, exactly. Back then, your mom would be dead, and you would be an orphan that would die
Yeah.
very quick.
Or I'd be a fucking king or some shit. Some cool
Pro-
story
no.
like they see in the
Probably not.
movies.
No.
Statistically speaking,
You'd be-
oh, he's the man with the golden skateboard.
They're like, what is that thing? Like, you're gonna find out in 100 and something years from now. Whatever
Yeah.
the fuck it is.
God, he was a king all along, and we just threw him in the trash.
Yeah.
All right, let's go back in time. We'll see.
This Michael is very special, man. I see him putting that 2x4 on the cow patties and surfing on it.
Can we make like a Patreon goal of ours? Like, let's get
Your house.
$100,000 a week through Patreon.
I like that
and
idea.
Figure out how to go back in time because you just gave me a great idea.
You backdoor engineer it.
Yeah.
The only thing we're going back in time for is for Mike to do a kickflip in front of a group of people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're
And
gonna
then
be-
I'd probably
Watch
they'd
them
probably he's the king.
lose their fucking minds.
Or he's a devil.
Magic!
He's a devil.
Yeah,
Witchcraft.
we're-
Witchcraft.
We're gonna pay like $6-7 billion to go back in time for 15 seconds, and the four of us will be in a little hub together. And just for risk, we're just send you out. Be like, you gotta do a kickflip real quick. You gotta fuck up,
My organs explode because my body is not equipped to the time period, and I just die.
something like that. I was thinking maybe you just kind of hurt yourself because they don't have pavement.
I got
They got-
cruiser wheels on, nice and soft, probably 75A.
Right? We come back and you're just like a burnt skeleton guy.
Oh, it should be like some Bill and Ted shit. I get some princesses who come back, you know?
Yeah, big titty, fucking hairy ass princesses.
Fuck yeah.
Let's
Yeah,
do it.
but
I'm all
Mike,
about it.
Mike, that could be incest.
How do you figure?
If you think about it, I don't know. Maybe you just
I guess we're all related,
your
right?
your
No,
chance,
no, that's not true. They
Tom,
only
no,
invented
no, no.
DNA recently.
Mike, your chance of incest is so much greater if you bang someone in the past.
You think
Yeah.
so?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, like in Back to the Future where he almost bangs his mom?
I mean, that's like
Well, that's like
30
one
years.
generation.
Yeah, but if you went back 1,000
Still, it's
years,
back
it's
in time.
probably your mom's.
Yeah.
All right,
My
that's
name's
what
my
they
name's
do.
Calvin
Anyway,
Klein. If
So
you
they're
wanted to
taking
know.
they're taking castles.
The new Patreon minimum's $1,000.
I'm living on the streets. Please help me.
Okay, so he is
He's banging this milf.
no, he's fighting Steven, and Steven's doing a shitty job.
Oh, yeah, too.
Steven's son Eustace dies. So like people are like, oh shit, like this guy got mashed as hell. It enrages Steven, and the two armies of Steven and Henry come head to head. And both of their armies like met on the battlefield. You know, they're squaring off, doing the fucking Braveheart thing of like yelling at each other. And then their armies are just like, fuck this. Like they refuse to fight.
Both?
Both
For
sides.
one's paid, right?
That's awesome.
Yeah, they just were basically like, no, I'm not charging them because we've been fighting for like 15 years, and both of you're a child. You're
Hey,
20
he's
years
not-
old.
He's 5 years old when the war started,
Yeah.
right?
That's awesome.
You know, the way I sees it, I'm out here fighting me battle, swinging me broadsword around. You're in there looking at newegg.com all fucking day, looking at new PC rigs that you can build in your free time, all right, sir? So maybe I'm going to see me way out. And I've been talking to the other guys, and they say the same thing. Steve, his name. Yeah, you and him. You have fun on World of Warcraft. We'll be out here picking cucumbers off the plants. It's fucking winter again, because it's England.
Oi, you're a fucking cunt.
So Stephen and Henry meet at Wallingford Castle, and they both like stand on two sides of this stream. I don't know if it was one of the documentaries said it was the Thames. I don't think it was the Thames because another one was like, this is the stream, and it was a tiny ass fucking stream. I don't know, some stream.
It's hard to do a Royal 69 across the Thames.
Yeah.
Okay.
Stephen was pretty much beat at this point. If his army's not going to fight Henry, there's no fucking way. So he agrees that Henry will be the next in line to inherit the throne, but he can finish out his reign. So,
Oh, they hugged it out.
yeah, they hugged it out. Essentially, he disinherited his only living son, William. So Stephen's like, fuck that kid. You're my son now, Henry, not top of line.
Fuck you, Billy.
But Dad,
This poor kid, William.
right?
He's just like, I've been reading all these books about being a king. I got so many good ideas, Dad.
my dad's so sick. I can't wait to be king.
guess what?
Look, remember that guy paid off to leave us alone? Well, he and I are friends now.
Yeah.
It's kind of cooler than you, to be honest.
In fact, Billy, I kind of resent you asking me for so much book money and smart learning money.
Little
You should be
fucking
dumb
nerd.
like
This guy's an idiot like me.
Yeah.
He gets me.
the same blood.
So the war is over, and exactly 1 year later, King Stephen dies after complaining about stomach pains during a campaign in Ireland. Sounds like poison to me. None of my resources claimed it to be poison, but you read stomach problems. I mean, it could be dysentery.
It could be bad shepherd's pie.
Yeah,
He's an
Oh yeah.
That's true.
He'll
it's
be up
one-
there and maybe on the way over, he just let me get that haggis. So they don't make that here. 'Cause
They don't
Ireland,
make
you
it here.
idiot. Stupid
It was
idiot.
a bad move with the haggis.
Here, eat a raw bat.
Yeah.
So Henry is now crowned the King of England. He officially becomes Henry II. Because the only way you get that moniker of like the second is when you're king. There's plenty of other Henrys, you know.
Yeah.
Henry now controls the largest territory England has ever seen. Largest territory England's ever seen in Europe. I mean, they had the English Empire. That was a lot bigger territory.
Yeah.
But in Europe, this is the biggest England's ever seen. They controlled half of modern day France. England, as we know it, no Scotland or Wales, and most of Ireland. And
wow.
we'll touch on that a little bit more when we get to King John. But because it was like the
Holy shit.
marriage of both families. You have Eleanor of Aquitaine bringing in these French parts, and then England and all that shit.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Tell me more,
Collaboration.
Travis. Tell me about where it's about to go.
So
Appreciate
Shit
you
in the
making
fan.
one more coaster for me.
Henry's first goal was to flop his big old dick all out on the barons that, you know, that went against
Get him wrong.
Like, I be the
Yeah.
boss. Check out this pee-pee.
Okay, swinging dick.
I'm the captain now. Look at me.
Eye contact.
Was that like that?
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't just some random Somalian guy.
Yeah. So basically what Henry did, he's like, there's no more fighting in my fucking kingdom. You answer to me. And then he started going around and destroying all the castles that were built during the anarchy. He destroyed like castles and fortifications. He destroyed nearly 100 castles.
Wow.
Just going around razing them to the ground. Like,
Why did he sell them to white women?
white women, as we know, it didn't exist back then.
Yeah. They weren't real.
They weren't
That's
real.
strange.
They're just cum balloons.
Just be like, oh, well, slap a fucking Disney head on this thing. Let's go, little Mickey Mouse. Dreams come true. Get some Puerto Rican guy
Honey,
who
we
looks
should
like
put
Prince
a live,
Charming.
laugh,
Put him in
love
front.
sign up here.
Put him in some red pants and a fucking cream blazer. Put him up front.
Yeah.
Hey, what's up? Welcome to your castle. Gotta destroy that. God
So-
damn it.
Were these castles like what I'm thinking of? Like,
Probably not.
No.
no moats, no fucking.
Might have been
Like
a
little
moat,
small
but it's
castles.
probably like just like 2 big towers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they
That's
actually
kinda
they
it.
varied. So some of them were made of stone, but most of them were just like wood.
Yeah, I could pick. Yeah,
Yeah.
I played some games where they were like that. Little wood.
What
Yeah.
kind of games?
I don't know. Oh, I'm thinking of a different game. I'm thinking of Japan. I
We didn't know the original game.
think of medieval Japan. It's Sekiro.
Medieval Japan. I don't even.
That's a different
I don't know.
place, Mike.
Yeah.
They kill these. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm a little stoned.
Well, you
on
got to remember,
CBD.
Japanese people, like, their sheetrock was paper. So only the kings had wood.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The king was legally allowed to walk
Fuck.
through any wall he wanted in
That's
Japan.
fucking sick.
As
That's
long
why
as he
that
was
shit's
strong.
badass back then.
Just doing the fucking like Vince McMahon.
Vince
walk
McMahon.
through somebody's
Wouldn't you be
house.
so bad, like, just sitting in your home playing your Nintendo Switch from 1500s, just sitting there, and then all of a sudden you get some fucking guy comes to Vince McMahon and goes, "Every day I'm shuffling." It's like, that's annoying. No one likes that song.
Nani? Continue, Travis.
Yeah, so he destroyed all these castles and he was like, you know what? In my real court, I don't need you constantly backstabbing me with these barons and this nobility.
That's facts.
I can make whoever I want part of my court. So Henry starts promoting the upper class of commoners, so like the powerful people in London pretty much, to powerful royal court positions, which wasn't a thing. Usually you just be like, this is my cousin Beau. He is the Duke of Lancaster. He will be my friend in court.
That's good.
So now he goes out, and this is the first. This brings us to arguably one of Henry's biggest oopsies, and that would be a man named Thomas Becket.
Okay.
Quite possibly
familiar.
where you got your name, right? You're Catholic, right, Thomas?
No, I got it from St. Thomas More.
Oh, okay.
Different guy.
Close enough. Another English.
Actually, no.
English
Truth be
saint.
told, that's the cover up. I got my name from the Oliver Reed film Tommy.
Oh,
Oh, okay.
there you go.
My,
That's the
my parents thought I was retarded, So they're like, right out of the gate.
There's your
That's not
dad
true.
just yelling in your ear. I want him to hear me.
Tommy, can't you hear me? Thinking like I'm involved in this. I am 4 seconds old. He's like, this is. Can't you hear me, Tom?
Shaking you.
Are you listening?
Don't you understand? Ken Russell, he did it. Like, what? My first words were,
Yeah.
Oh.
So Thomas Becket came from a well-off family in London. He was well-educated and was chosen to be one of these commoners in the court. Becket and Henry instantly hit it off. They became real solid buds. They did have some very noticeable differences in fashion styles. So, as I mentioned, one of Henry's names was Henry Kurtmantle.
Yeah.
Now, that roughly means Henry Shortcloak. And the reason was that Henry never was a flashy king. He was very pragmatic. He wasn't worried about his image. He just wore a
practical
fucking-
guy.
Hey. Yeah,
Right.
he was shopping at LL Bean. You know what I'm saying? He's got a
Right.
short mantle.
Respectable. I like that.
So let me tell you, so Thomas is shopping at Echo.
Yeah, Thomas is wearing Echo clothes. He's got the fucking
Diesel
Jenko
jeans on.
jeans.
The Jenkos are
Yeah.
dangerous.
Yeah,
Jordash. Remember that name?
yeah.
It's not DoorDash.
Jordash.
Jordash.
Oh, Jorts.
jeans.
Jordash,
Yeah, no, they went
yeah.
out of business.
Probably the better.
It's a Jort company.
Oh.
Yeah, Thomas has the soaps shoes on. He's fucking grinding all the
Oh,
rails.
so he's badass.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's like, I got to get around this castle faster. And he just keeps hurting himself.
Yeah. And-
Henry doesn't see the point, I guess.
Yeah.
Henry's so he's very hipster.
So Thomas looked more kingly than Henry did. And there's actually a story about Henry and Becket were walking, Henry and Thomas were walking through the streets and they come across this beggar. And Henry's like, hey, man, you must be cold. Do you want a cape? You want a beautiful cape? And the guy's like, yeah, I could use that. He didn't know that it was the king. And so Henry orders Becket to take off his cape that he just bought for like thousands of pounds or whatever they're using. He's like, give him your cape. I'm the king.
Nice.
Yeah.
I would do that. There are some of my friends who I would do that to. But take off your shoes. You'll dumb them.
Give it to this beggar.
Yeah. Right?
Hey, that's respectable.
Yeah.
So Henry liked Becket so much that he made him Chancellor of England, which is basically acting regent when Henry isn't in England. And he spent a lot of time in France. Remember, he's a French boy.
Henri. I forgot. That's what they called.
Henri.
Yeah.
Yeah, so Becket is pretty much like the de facto ruler of England because Henry's over there. He's hanging out in Aquitaine, having a good, drinking some Budweisers, some French Budweisers and Aquitaine.
Some French fries.
Now, things were great for a while. But the barons had some problems with.
Well, while you're looking, I would say I'm going to guess the AIDS epidemic.
Yeah, it was the AIDS epidemic, actually. Yeah.
Right.
Oh, we're in the 80s now?
Yeah, we're in the 80s.
1180s?
Ronald Reagan just blew one into fucking Nancy, and it's time to go.
That's far.
Yeah.
He is counting his jelly beans.
So the barons had a lot of problems with Becket, mainly because they were jealous. He was a common man. He was promoted to like things that they should have because they're nobility, and that's how the world should work. Monarchies are great. But Henry loved Becket like a brother, so he'd always protected him. Now, one of the big things that Henry had a problem with was the church. Now, Henry always thought that the church had way too much power over the monarchies, and maybe they did.
Amen.
Two of his biggest pet peeves were that the Roman Catholic Church could appoint archbishops, whoever they saw fit, without consulting the king. And remember, this is like the bishops and these clergies and stuff, they controlled a lot of land. So they could basically just send some guy from Rome and be like, you're the Archbishop of York, and now you own all this fucking property for us.
Yeah, and then some Italian guy shows up in York.
Yeah.
And he's like, hey, where's the money?
So annoying.
Yeah.
Get out of here, John Leguizamo.
I will open the Domino's, York's first Domino's for you.
You have no pizza here in York. What am I going to eat?
And the number two, and this is really fucked, and I feel like it almost happens today, too, with the Catholic Church. But so if a clergy member committed a crime, they were prosecuted by the church and not the government.
No way.
That's been going on for a long time.
It's been going on
Apparently,
at
what we have
least for
found out,
1,000 years, probably more.
Well,
You just move around, right?
what we have found out is that consent's not really an issue.
Wait, what? Consent?
Consent.
No.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah, so
I call you left
Henry's,
field with that one because I'm on this side of your body.
That was dark.
Yeah.
Henry's like,
Yeah, it was.
if some priest like rapes and murders someone, I'm the king. I should lay my justice down. But in reality, they just relocate
dealing
them
with
like
it.
they do today. They just move them to like, oh, you're in Gloucester, England. Now you're in Vienna.
You're in Haiti. There's like 6 people who care now. over
Hey,
there.
we heard you had a fetish for Germans, so we're sending you to England. We'll see if that solves the problem.
Yeah, get out of there. Unbelievable.
Right.
Okay.
So, anyway, the Archbishop of Canterbury dies, and Henry thought, you know what? Fuck the church. I'm going to stick it to him. I got my dude Becket here. I'm making him Archbishop before they even get to fucking putting an Archbishop in. That way, Becket would have some influence over the assholes that was the Roman Catholic Church, and that's exactly what Henry did. He's like, Becket, guess what? You're the Archbishop of Canterbury. Now you can eat chocolates.
Did this man even go to church?
So actually, he was educated by the previous Archbishop.
So Becket he knew some of the ropes.
Yeah, he knew it. He wasn't a man of the cloth, but that didn't.
He wasn't like
Basically,
the guy walking in being like, "Okay, what's up, Cardinals?
Mm-hmm.
When's
Yeah, no.
Hanukkah?"
Yeah. Most of these archbishop positions that would go out to like, every major town had like an archbishop. It would go to people that weren't even related to the church most of the time. It would just be like, this guy's cool. He likes the church. Let's make him an archbishop.
Okay, respect.
So now the problem was that after Becket became archbishop, he found God.
Oh,
That's unfortunate because that's
Yeah.
how you lose power.
Well, yeah. So Becket left his government jobs. He like abandoned all those. So his chancellorship. He's like, I'm done with that. And any overseeing of Henry's affairs in London. And then he 180s. And Mike, you know about that. And then he was like, all of the things that the king wanted me to like overturn, I'm going to start doing them for the church because I'm a man of the cloth now. So he starts surveying lands that were originally part of the Canterbury Church that Henry had seized in the aftermath of the anarchy. And he's like, this is church property. You don't get this. That pissed him. Then Becket started excommunicating bishops, even the ones that made him the archbishop, because they broke like the church law to make him the archbishop.
Really? Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That must have hurt.
Yeah.
Because
Because
awkward to talk about.
he's like the evidence of the crime.
yeah.
Yeah, right?
Look what you did to me.
Yeah, you put me in a fantastic situation, and you'll pay for that.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
How dare you further my career?
I wish someone would do that to me.
Me too, man. I'd be an archbishop.
So Henry was pissed, but he had a plan. So at this point, Henry was one of, if not the most powerful ruler in Europe. And the new pope, Alexander III, was trying to suck him off. He's like, this guy's super powerful. I got to have him in my pocket.
I like his moves.
So he got Alexander in his pocket, and he's basically forced Becket to sign something called the Constitutions of Clarendon, which restricted the church's power. The whole thing about him, like the church being able to rule over like rape cases and murder cases, he used the leverage with Alexander to make Becket concede to this constitution.
Mm-hmm.
After this happened, Becket was like, fuck this, I'm not safe here. So he flees to France and he goes and hides with King Louis.
He's still alive?
My God.
He's still alive. And even in exile, Becket continued to excommunicate people in England that were close to Henry.
Oh, God.
It's like, you're excommunicated. I don't like you.
What? They just get letters from tired young men
Yeah.
who had just swam the channel?
You're out.
Yeah. I got a letter from France. I don't like you.
Now, while Becket was in France, Henry had the bright idea to crown his eldest son king. Now, we'll get into why this is stupid in a bit, but anyway, the king in England was always crowned and needed the blessing of the Pope, and it was always crowned by the Archbishop of Canterbury. That's just been established. So Becket's off in France, sending out these passive aggressive excommunication emails. And Henry's like, I guess I got to go to the Archbishop of York to crown my son. And that's what he does. And Becket's furious. So Becket appeals to the Pope, and he's like, look, he broke canon law by doing this. And somehow he wins over the Pope because the Pope's a pushover. And the Pope places an interdict on Henry II.
Well, that's a lot harsher than an outerdict.
Yeah.
Well, an interdict is like a super excommunication. Basically, it halts all church activity in the kingdom that the king or ruler controls. So it's like temporarily excommunicating everyone in England.
What do you mean? So God wasn't checking in?
Yeah, so all services, communions, baptisms, all of it was banned until the interdict was lifted.
Oh,
so like if you died and you didn't get your last rites, remember this is like the Middle Ages, so it's like church is like really important back then.
Yeah, it's like TV.
That's all we knew. I mean, we basically forgot how to make concrete because we like God so much.
Yeah.
We need him.
Hey, God,
Right. So
you
all the
made me.
people are like, our king's a dick, and now we can't fucking go to heaven anymore.
Oh, that would trip me out probably.
Little did
That's-
they know, they were all going to hell.
There is no heaven.
It's all hell.
Yeah, all hell.
What do you think it is?
You want to get into that right now?
Right in the
You think it's
middle,
just light- you
right
think
in
it's
the
just
middle
lights-
of this.
You think it just
We're
lights
gonna
out?
talk about what happens when you die.
It just lights out. You think?
I think it's lights out, but after like you get one lap in Mario Kart.
I think you wake up on a cart making your way into Skyrim, and the guy looks across at you and says, "Oh, you're finally awake."
That'd be pretty fucking badass. Be Dragonborn.
That just always happens.
That's
You
just how
close your
death is.
eyes.
Fuck, I can't wait to die.
People hate the truth, don't they?
I want the Thomas the Tank Engine mod where it turns all the dragons into Thomas the Tank Engine.
do, 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 do,
That's
do,
such a
you
good mod to Skyrim.
Yeah, it is. So Henry's fucked. Because remember, if the church is important and these people aren't getting fucking the Jesus blood juice, shit's gonna get fucked.
No boys getting
he's-
diddled. You know?
Yeah, kids aren't getting diddled because they can't
God
go to
ain't
church.
answering.
So he's forced to deal with Becket and negotiate. So during the negotiations, Becket is allowed to return to England if he reverses the interdict and the previous excommunications. Becket agrees. Now, Henry refuses to give Becket the kiss of peace, which is where, you kiss the hand and you're like, go in peace. I love you.
It's
I'm
just
your
a
king."
hand. I mean,
Yeah, but they got big egos back then.
listen,
Yeah,
I
they
will
did.
slob your whole cock for hours, but there's no way I'm kissing your hand.
Yeah.
No
That's
way.
too
Yeah.
demeaning to me.
Yeah, what do you think I am?
Well, people can
So-
see
so-
that. I don't want to behind closed doors. Yeah.
Yeah, so
this
not
whole
giving
thing. I
the
mean,
kid-
I'm kind of mad. I'm sorry, Travis. I don't mean to cut you off again, but this whole thing just seems like a child with the whole "got your nose" thing. Who's just
Yeah.
like, oh fuck, give it back, give it back.
Kiss my hand. Kiss my hand.
My peoples won't
Yeah.
let go to heaven if you don't get my nose back. They're all little Long Island kids.
Yeah, the fact that he didn't give Becket the kiss of peace essentially meant that Becket was not guaranteed safety in Henry's kingdom.
Mm.
No. Didn't
Now,
forget that.
immediately, Becket goes back to Canterbury. He's the Archduke again. He starts excommunicating Henry's supporters.
Right.
Yeah, he's like, fuck you guys. You're excommunicated. You're excommunicated.
Like fucking Oprah.
Now, Henry's at wit's end. Now, remember, this is a guy with a short fuse. He started eating his mattress.
Yeah.
Right.
Thank you for
You know?
jumping
Is this
into
the at mattress eating moment?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I don't know when the mattress eating moment happened, but I'm
Oh.
sure he took a bite out of his nightstand or something, at least with this. So he gets the news that there's this new round of excommunications. Henry's in Normandy right now in France. And he says this. He says, "What miserable drones and traitors I have nourished and promoted in my household, who lets their lord be treated with such contempt by a low-born clerk.
Someone wrote that down?
Yes, someone did.
All right.
He's like, I'm about to fire off a sick tweet. I need
Yeah.
you to write this down.
Travis, how much stuff though is false information they're hearing? You think a lot of it was
Okay, so
like rumors,
in
like game of telephone kind of thing?
Well, like in terms of whenever you read into a historical source, there's always bias, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's a king, so he's pretty well documented. But some of the sources you have to like take with a grain of salt. So one of the main sources from Henry, I forgot his name, but he was very like anti-Henry.
Okay.
I don't know which that came from, but they recorded that he said this.
It was probably an Irish guy.
Yeah, probably.
So he says this out loud during like his, he's got all of his knights and all the courtiers around him. So 4 nights here, he's like, oh, dude, he's calling us like we should have done something. We're like letting our king down, right? That's pretty much what he said. It's like, why are you letting this guy push me around? I'm your king. But he kind of just says that as like, a way to vent anger. But these 4 knights were like, the boss don't like this dude, so we gotta mash him. So they head out to Canterbury. They board a ship for England. And Henry gets word from another knight. He's like, yo, these guys just like left on a boat to go fuck with Beckett. Henry's like, fuck. I don't want them to do that. They're going to kill him. They're fucking mercenary, shitty knights. Like,
Oh, my God. What did I say? What did I say some of?
I don't even know what I said.
Why do people take me so seriously? I'm just the king.
Yeah. So he sends out these knights to go catch these 4 guys that went out to go deal with Beckett, but it was too late because the knights had already boarded the ship and they were on their way to Canterbury.
Oh, God. Someone stopped him.
Yeah. So these 4 knights arrive in Canterbury, and in true English tradition, they get shithoused. They go to the pub, they get fucking smashed, and they head to Canterbury Cathedral. Now, at first, the bishops of the cathedral wouldn't let them in. They're like, these guys are fucking hammered. They're yelling like, Beckett, come out here. Show us what you got if you think you're hard enough.
Wait, no, they're French, though.
Oh,
these
yeah,
guys
they're French. So, hard enough.
Show me how soft your croissant is, Beckett.
Yeah. So Beckett he tells the bishops, he's like, and this is a quote, no one should be barred from the house of God. Keep the doors open. Which is stupid. It's dumb. These guys
Sounds
are
dumb.
He's sticking to his roots or traditions or beliefs.
This is the same guy who he excommunicated an entire nation.
Yeah.
But it's just like, well, the building itself, you can come in. But you're like, yeah,
the building is open. Heaven's closed.
Yeah.
Hey,
honestly,
you assholes.
People were bored back then.
Yeah, honestly, it seems like Beckett didn't expect them to do any harm because, I mean, he's an archbishop, and you kill one of those, you're definitely going to hell.
He'd been sitting in his room for like 3 weeks, just like doing Zippo tricks. He's feeling hot. He's just like, you ain't got fuck me, dude. I got these gloves. I cut them off. Giving out communion. Yeah, dude. Got blood of Christ. Shout out.
Yeah, see this gas station butterfly knife I got? Dude.
I've been using the practice one. I'm almost ready for the real one.
Yeah.
Do you ever practice like one of those practice knives that they sell you at the kung fu schools?
Only had real ones.
You know, because you're from the South Shore.
I had practiced nunchucks. They're made out of
little
foam.
pocket knives and shit.
You had pocket knives?
Yeah.
That's cool. All right, back to the story. Enough of this Eastern jargon.
So then
he's about to get fucked up in the church, is what you're saying.
Yeah. The knights start harassing him, and then they start to drag him out of the church. And after much struggling, one of the knights is like, fuck this dude, swings his sword, and cleaves the top of Beckett's skull off.
Oh.
Just the tip. Just the tip.
Oh, just the tip?
That's
So he's
very
still
cool.
alive?
It's like a lobotomy.
Yeah. So the other knights were like, I mean, I'm assuming if you just cut off the tip of the head, he's probably still alive. At
Yeah,
this point.
depends.
Remember, it's not like
You can,
just-
you can
it's
go
not
down
like people.
pretty far.
I feel like when you watch movies, people die instantly, but he's probably there like, ah,
You can see how wrinkly his brain was.
Yeah, this guy's
Yeah.
smart. Fuck.
So the other knights are like, fuck, what do we do now? And they just start stabbing the shit out of him.
Well,
So-
why just cut off the rest of the head?
Yeah, well,
Maybe he
you know, they
missed.
just
That
start
sounds like he
stabbing the shit
fucking
out of him.
missed.
Could you imagine that if you were like alive
And
and
be like,
top
killing
someone
him.
just
Yeah.
cuts the
Cut off.
top of your head off like the first like inch and you're like, God damn it.
I'd be like, just
Right.
kill me now. Just fucking get over with.
Yeah.
It's like Kill Bill, right? At the end of that, when they cut.
It's like a scalping
Lucy
gone
Lou's head
wrong.
off?
Like a Saw movie. You gotta put your fucking flesh in a bucket to open the door open or some shit.
I need 4 pounds of flesh.
Yeah.
So one of the bishops sees what's going on, and the bishop runs over and accidentally steps on Beckett's neck, and like Gogurt squirts his brains all over the cathedral floor.
This is the house of God.
Yeah.
Like a toothpaste
and like one of
tube.
the knights like scoops a little bit of his brain up. Like this is actually in the sources. Like plays with his brain on the floor, and the bishop says, "We can leave. Like we can leave this place, knights. He will not get up again." It's like no shit.
Yeah,
You
he's
just
fucking
stepped on
done.
his neck and his brain shot out like Gooey Louie, dude.
It's the same guy. Like
Let's be honest. He's gonna die
Yeah.
either way.
It's like just imagine that guy who steps over and who runs over and steps on the dude's neck, and he's like played by Jeffrey Jones. And he's like, looks like it's time to leave now, boys. Let me show you where the door is. Father, Son, Holy Spirit, yada, yada, yada. Happy Shabbat.
Oh my god.
So that was the end of Beckett. When Henry heard the news, he was very depressed. He was like, "This was my friend once." I honestly, from reading like the few sources that I did and like the books I read, it didn't seem like Henry really wanted to kill him. But obviously, everybody thought that they wanted to. I mean, he sent knights out.
He just
and
talks
then-
shit. This is why you don't talk shit.
Yeah. So this pretty much solidified Henry as no bueno in the eyes of the church. A new interdict was placed on Henry and his kingdom. Henry was able to negotiate out of the interdict by reversing the constitutions of Clarendon, the whole thing that gave him more power. And shortly after Thomas Becket's death, he was canonized. So he became Saint Thomas Becket.
Hey.
That's fun. That's fun. Do you want beers, guys?
I'm good.
I mean, I think I'm fine right now with this one.
All right, cool. Tell us more, Travis.
So that was Thomas Becket. It's pretty much a shit show. But things were going to get even worse. And this time from his own family.
Ah,
So Henry and Eleanor had 4 sons. They also had daughters, but not important.
Never.
just
The
marry them
old-
off.
Yeah, marry him off.
Get a nice
They'll come-
dowry.
They'll come into the story next episode, or at least one of them, but we're not even going to bother mentioning them.
Who cares about her?
Yeah. From oldest to youngest, it was Henry, Richard, Geoffrey, and John. So the oldest was named after him, Geoffrey, or Henry. Then Richard, Geoffrey, and John. So as I mentioned it a little bit earlier ago that Henry had the brilliant idea of making his eldest son, Henry, or as people called him, Young Henry, which is kind of like a rapper, like
Right.
Oh Henry. He had the bright idea of naming him like Co-King at the age of 15 in 1170.
Listen, I'm going to be out a lot partying. I might need someone who's not getting as hungover as me in my old age. Co-King, how's that sound? Come on over.
Yeah,
Think of it
You're
like
not
this.
actually king. Remember that. You're not actually king. You're
Right.
just co-king.
You Co-King, think of it like this. Anytime I order a Chinese platter, I'll get you one.
That sounds
get
like a
any.
good
You
deal.
can
any
have one of the
combination you
dumplings.
want.
Yeah.
Not all of them. One of them.
I'll order your own. I don't want you to bother me. Also, I have endless money because I don't count.
Can I wear your clothes?
So
No.
I
Oh.
God,
Yeah.
no.
when you like look at history, I feel like this always ends very poorly. Whenever you like say like, yeah, I'm king, you're also king, or like I'm emperor, you're also emperor.
The egos will butt heads, probably, right?
Yeah. So then Henry also divided out the rest of his territories to his other sons. So Richard got the Duke of Aquitaine, where he lived with his mother, Eleanor, because she's just a baby machine. She doesn't need to like actually be around the king.
Right.
Geoffrey got Brittany,
Mhm.
and John got nothing because he was too young.
And Brian got Six Flags.
Brian got 6 flags.
Brian won.
Yeah. He's having the most fun.
Yeah. He's on King
Brian's
the
still
Cock.
alive today, dancing
Yeah.
in all the commercials for us. He's actually
bald.
English, that guy.
He's bald and loves the Venga Boys.
Well, who doesn't? bald or not. I got a lot of hair. Love the Venga Boys. My bald friends also love the Venga Boys.
Yeah. So in reality, Henry II was still in complete control of his empire. Even though his sons had titles, they had no authority. They didn't even really have an income. He didn't give them a lot of money. He was like, "Yeah, you're the Duke of Aquitaine. That's great. All the money comes to me, kid."
Okay.
So if you could imagine, I want you guys to put yourself in these kids' places for a second. Imagine being a teenager, because these are all teenagers, these kids. Imagine being a kid and they're like, you could do whatever you want. And then you go to the mall and you're like, I want to order 5 orders of the cinnamon pretzels at Auntie Anne's. And your dad's like, no, you can't. I'd be
like,
hurt.
The fuck is this shit? I thought we were loaded.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, didn't we have money? Can I buy
you
it?
stingy fuck? You got all this fucking money. You got a co-fucking king.
You can only have savory pretzels, all right?
The fuck is this? I want the
Yeah.
pepperoni
Cinnamon.
ones.
Yeah.
You haven't had your dinner yet. We're going to buy you a Jansport backpack. We're not getting a Thule.
I want to go to Hot Topic, Dad. I want to buy fucking trip pants and fucking big DVS shoes,
We're
Dad.
going to Marshall's, and you're gonna like.
No,
Yes.
No.
I'm not wearing USPA again. It ain't real polo. That's like I think it might be regional. People are like, "What the fuck is USPA?"
It's all right. We do a lot of regional jokes.
Everyone's gonna get the gist.
All right.
I mean, I get drunk and sound like Long Island as a person. So,
Yeah, I just said daughter. before,
Daughter.
I think.
yeah,
So,
we're all retarded.
yeah.
Speak for yourself. Fucking.
So these
So
boys
let's
got no
touch
money.
the God.
Yeah, let's talk about young Henry for a sec.
Talk to
because
our predecessor,
spoilers,
though.
we're not going to talk about him next episode. This was a dude that thought that he was good at war because his dad was, but in fact, he just liked to joust and go to tournaments. Like he had no
Oh,
real experience.
I love this
in
trope.
warfare.
Yeah,
You know?
classic.
Living in daddy's shadow.
My dad is a lawyer, or my dad is an artist.
I'm such
That's
a good
even worse.
warrior because all my dad's bodyguards can't fight me.
You know,
Yeah.
they're not allowed to. They're gonna die. Also, like there's that. My dad's a lawyer. I got that kind of mentality to it. But like, my dad's an artist. Those people are the worst.
Oh yeah.
Those
Hard
people.
shoes to fill.
Well, I mean,
My
for some
dad's-
reason,
my
they all
dad's-
think they're artists.
Yeah.
My dad's an artist. You want to see this cool S I can draw on my trapper keeper?
Yeah. I've been making art. I use painter's tape on the side of buildings that I lease,
Yeah.
and sometimes I spray on it with paint.
So shortly after Beckett got the whole Gogurt brains thing, young Henry was like, fuck this shit. I have no power. My dad killed my tutor because Beckett was young Henry's tutor. And like, dad is just about to give 3 of my castles to my little brother John. Fuck that kid. He's like 6. Like he doesn't deserve my castles.
Yeah, share. Come on.
Right.
He's a Mets
So-
fan.
Yeah.
Yeah. So young Henry's like, I'm going to France. I'm going to have a chat with little Louis VII, and I'm going to go take the throne for myself, the power I deserve.
Oh,
Damn.
Fuck my dad.
usurper.
Yeah.
Manifesto.
Well, kinda. I mean, he's king too.
He's a co-king.
Oh
I mean,
yeah, I forgot
It's like a
he's
weird
co-king.
situation. He's not really usurping. He's just like, I'm also king.
This would be like if the vice president led a coup against.
I would
Yeah.
love to see that. I don't even care who's in power.
Yeah.
I want to see Kamala get on it. Have fun.
Yeah.
I deserve to be president. Why are you president?
So in 1173, young Henry, Richard, Geoffrey, and their mother Eleanor decide to go meet up with Louis and go to war against their own dad/husband.
Oh, so they all go along with it?
They all go along with it. They're like, fuck this dude.
Wow.
He's that
Now-
stupid.
I'd be like hanging out all day, I'd be eating fucking cheese and wine.
Why didn't he just try to explain? I didn't want to kill my friend. Maybe they would have stuck around.
It was
I
hard to
mean,
explain
maybe
back
they
then.
knew that, but they were also like, I want power and money.
Right. You know what they
Yeah.
say? Money is
Key.
bad for stupid people say this. Money is bad.
But money is
Is-
actually good.
Everything,
It's really good. I like money a lot.
moderation, like everything.
No.
No.
Excess, money in excess.
Money in excess.
See,
This
Mike,
is-
this is why you're 26.
No, because you get a lot of money, you get jaded, and you get greedy.
No, you just turn to Warren Buffett. And then your wife tells you what to eat every morning.
But he's not
Yeah.
spending any of his money.
Yeah.
You can't. You
He
can't.
doesn't have any more problems.
You can't
'Cause
take that money out
He
of the
no
grave.
longer
No
has problems
problems,
to
no
spend the
problems.
money on.
I'd be like, yo, design me a new body or something.
Well,
You
that's
don't
why you
think
get blood
Warren
boys.
Buffett has people designing a new body for him?
Probably does, low key.
You got those
Yeah.
blood boys.
I gotta do that. I gotta get in shape.
Yeah.
All right, so the whole family's against them.
Right.
Whole family except for Little John.
Little John, yeah.
It's because he's 7, right?
Yeah, because he's 6 years old.
Little fucking
But Henry
bitch.
really loves John because he's 6 years old.
Right.
Doesn't know. Yeah.
My son is stupid enough to still like me. He's
Look at him
6.
playing with his blocks.
This fucking moron.
I love this kid.
He's the smartest child in the village. I bought him the baby Einstein, full category of everything. He listens to Einstein music. All the other kids are stupid.
He tried salmon once. He's so educated.
Very nice. Connor, you eat like that.
What?
Your mom was telling me that you ate like that. When
Oh
you were a
yeah,
kid.
I would always get really angry at waitresses and hostesses when I was like starting at like age 4 when they got me a kids menu. I'd be like, no, I don't
Oh,
want
that's-
this.
Grown up shit.
Yeah.
We're brothers. That happened to me. I was at the kids' table and I ordered soft shell crab, and the waitress went up to my dad and was like, "Can he order soft shell crab?" And my dad was like, "That's my boy." Yeah.
For me, it was mussels.
Oh, okay. All right.
You guys didn't like the hot dogs or the chicken tenders?
No, I'd be like, give me the fucking
I
mussels.
was like,
Mike,
give
you
me the
still like it.
hot dog, give me the coloring book.
Yeah, Mike, you.
I would still want the coloring stuff though. I'd be like, no,
Oh,
no,
okay.
leave,
Yeah.
Best of both
leave the
worlds.
toys, but bring me mussels.
Let me ask
Yeah.
you. It wasn't really the coloring. It wasn't the crayons. It was the documentation equipment.
Yeah.
In your head, it was just like, I must write about this.
I must write it down.
I think of kids menu. I think of Friendlies because their hot dogs were like they snapped really
Or
good.
did
in
we
your
talk
mouth.
about friendlies earlier?
Really?
Yeah, we already-
Now
yeah,
you made
we
me think
mentioned
about
Friendlies.
Friendlies. It popped in my head the hot dog and
Have you been to one of those in your adulthood?
yeah. I've been. Oh, my adulthood. The last time I went was on a date with my first girlfriend, and there was.
I thought you were going to say last week.
No, it wasn't by my house closed down, but there was a hair in my food last time I went there, and I still ate it. I was like,
All those places should close down. It's the saddest place on earth.
it really. I was really fucked up in there, and the whole time I'm like, yo, this looks like a really sad base, like a '70s kitchen kind of
Yeah.
deal. And everyone there looked like they hated it.
Like pretty much every Tom Waits song is about a friendlies, but he doesn't know it yet. He's been like zoning in. He's just like, "Where's the place? Well, my red libels."
It's got like Friendlies is good when there's no hair in your food. But.
Well,
All right.
it's not good.
Hold on.
Continue.
All right, too much friendlies.
Yeah,
so I get
let's
off
talk about-
tangents. I'm hungry.
Let's
as
talk about
fuck.
the saddest man of the 12th century. So Henry,
Hank.
My
his
ass
whole
is sad.
Well, I mean, his family
Yo,
completely
he
all
can fuck
rebelled
any
against
prostitute
him.
he wants. He could fucking take a shit on a piece of gold probably and be okay.
Oh yeah, I mean, one of the things I haven't really mentioned is he's just banging ass everywhere.
Yeah, well,
I
who
mean,
the fuck is
I mean,
depressed?
I think that goes without saying.
Yeah,
that's
we
the
knew
norm,
that.
Yeah.
He's a king.
Yeah.
These dudes never relax. They don't know how to just hang out.
Yeah.
Well,
Well,
he's gonna-
I mean, so Henry is bummed. He's like, my whole family don't like me. They're gonna rebel and hang out with Louis. Fuck Louis. So Henry caught wind of this treason in his mind, and so the 3 sons had already met up with Louis, but their mother, Eleanor of Aquitaine, was still down in Aquitaine, and they're gonna meet in Paris with Louis. So Eleanor dressed up as a man and rode from Aquitaine to Paris, but was intercepted by Henry's troops.
Oh,
Mm.
Yeah. So Eleanor became her husband's prisoner for 16 years.
Jesus.
that's hot.
She's, yeah.
That's how. That's
The way you look,
Well, you think that she's just in kink.com over in San Francisco, just
yeah.
getting
Is
ripped apart.
this what this is based off of? All that stuff.
Yeah,
This
probably.
medieval torture
It's
designs.
obviously, yeah. You tell this harrowing tale of a woman being entrapped for 16 years. And Mike's just like, well, she's getting banged out by
Mike's like,
black
"That's
guys in leather
kinky."
pants all day. That's
yeah,
pretty cool.
equality right there.
Like, well, yeah, that is cool, but that's not what's happening.
Yeah. So the family goes to war.
Define prisoner. I'm sorry.
The family goes to war, and I'm just gonna essentially break it down. We're not a battlefield podcast. There's plenty of those. If you want to hear those, go for it. Henry essentially stomps the shit out of his 3 sons and Louis. Because like this guy's been fighting his entire life. He might have sucked when he was 14, but this guy's been fighting since then. He's a battle king.
Well, he's been doing it since, even though he sucked when he's 14, he's been doing it since he was 14, and his sons are about 14.
Yeah, right.
So it's like,
Yeah.
well, let me show you where it come from, motherfucker.
Yeah. So he stomps the shit out of them. There's a truce to stop fighting, but once the truce is up, young Henry and Louis devise a plan to capitalize on England's perpetual border war with Scotland and take the fight to England.
Wow.
So with his entire kingdom in revolt, Henry's like, shit, I done fucked. I shouldn't have fucked up that guy Beckett. I know it wasn't my fault, but I feel responsible. I yelled very loud. I tweeted
it was
some
his
things
fault.
I shouldn't have.
It was all his fault.
Yeah, I tweeted some things I shouldn't have tweeted.
Yeah.
Now I need to go. He's like, now I need to go to Canterbury and give penance. So Henry goes to Canterbury. He strips down at the walls of Canterbury to his boxer briefs, whatever they wore. I don't know what they wore.
MeUndies.
MeUndies.
Yeah.
He strips
Shout
down
out.
to his MeUndies. And he
Commando.
walks barefoot through the shit and piss filled streets of Canterbury until he reaches the cathedral. So now, Netflix, if you wanted to make a king all dirty, this would be your opportunity, because these streets in a city, medieval city, gross.
Therapeutic.
Yeah.
Stepping on a nice
So-
turd.
So Henry throws himself at the bishop's feet, and he's like, I beg you, I need to give penance to Becket and his death. Please flog me. So Henry receives, and this is a big deal. This is a king, dude, and he's not doing it for pleasure. He's doing it to be embarrassed. He receives nearly 200 lashes from the bishops as they took turns lashing him in front of the shrine of St. Thomas Becket.
I mean, lashes. What kind of lashes are we talking about? We talking about a bunch of priests just fluttering their eyelashes and judging? Because
Give him some
200
solid-
lashes.
Some
that's
solid whips.
Yeah, that'll crack you open.
Mm-hmm.
That'll turn you into a nice pistachio nut.
Very kinky.
Yeah.
Yeah. So like divine providence happened. While he was being flogged, the King of Scotland was randomly captured at the border by one of Henry's scouting teams. Somehow they just, and the story said they like there was a thick fog over the forest, and they just stumbled out of the woods and randomly ended up in his camp. So people are like, whoa.
So, like, everyone is drunk at this time.
Yeah.
Like, this is not,
Yeah.
there is no, we don't know what actually happened.
They're all shithouse.
Well,
Yeah.
what is it? It's St. Anthony's fire, where everyone accidentally took LSD because ergot grows in bread.
No, that's St. Vitus dance.
No, St. Vitus is different.
Oh, I thought St. Vitus's dance was when the ergot got him. They got ergot, and then they got hit.
I
And
thought
people were
St.
dancing
Vitus
around.
was. I thought St. Vitus's dance was literally just like a disease that made people dance, so they don't know why they danced.
Well,
Well, it's
maybe
the LSD, right? The acid.
that's what I thought it was too. But you're saying it's something else. Maybe
It's a
we
Black
don't know.
Sabbath
Maybe.
song, too.
Well, sure am.
Everyone's tripping balls, and they found fucking the King of Scotland in the woods, and he's captured. So remember, this is dumb superstitious time. So basically, everyone's like, they saw this as an act of God. Henry went before the bishops. He got flogged. And at the same time, the King of Scotland gets captured.
Ooh.
So this act alone enabled Henry to end the rebellion in England. He was just like, look what I did, dude.
That's a good 1-2 punch.
Don't fuck with me. Mic drop.
Respect.
That's short for microphone.
Oh,
No, I actually dropped Michael on the ground as a
You
child.
can't see me with this GoPro, but I'm on the floor.
Then he marches to England. He kicks the shit out of his sons and Louis again.
Builds character.
In the end, his brat kids fall in line, but Henry specifically targets Richard, who he was like, Richard, like he was like, Henry, young Henry, you're all right. Joffrey, you're all right. I'm still at war with Richard. Yeah.
Fuck Richard. What did I do? I was at the barbecue.
hey,
Yeah.
little Dickie, come here.
So eventually they made a truce, but then he made Richard go around Aquitaine and lay siege and raise the castles of all the counts that had aligned with Richard during the revolt.
It's
My
rude.
God.
Yeah, so he's just like, oh, you made friends in your nice little French town? Go fuck them up.
Fuck your friends. I don't care that you went to go see the Aladdin movie together. I hate your friendship.
Yeah.
Tell your friends they suck.
Middle? Is there a middle team?
No.
Yeah.
No middle team in America.
I guess you can't really be middle because it's like either way you gotta.
Middle team?
Yeah, like, I was like a donkey is a fucking elephant. I want to be a fucking eagle. America.
America.
I want to be the stick figure family with a Trump wave covering them.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
I want to be the entire Pledge of Allegiance on my back window.
Yeah.
I saw
That's
that the other
worst
day.
one. Like it's so tiny. I just say "We the people." That's all you see is "We the people," and then you're like, I can't get close enough to read all the rest of that shit.
All right, so I saw the best bumper sticker signs the other day. One of them was this one was like not crazy. It was a cross, and Calvin was praying to the cross
Instead of peeing on it.
instead of peeing on it.
What?
Oh, fine,
I'm
Gabby.
good.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
And the other one was a close up, and there's like all like line drawing. Obviously, it's like a close up of like a hand being nailed into the cross, and it said, "Body piercing saved my life."
I like that one. I need that for my next bumper sticker.
That's good. I like that.
Body piercing saved my life.
You know how pickup trucks will do like the flags hanging off the back?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yesterday, the other day, Lizzie and Emily and Max were in the car with us. We're driving back to Huntington, and we saw the flags flying from a car. And as we got closer, it was a it was a PT Cruiser that had like an American flag like painted on around the entire body of the car.
That's
Oh,
hard.
And
shit.
it said like there was like an eagle on the driver's side door, and it just said like freedom isn't free, and it was flying 2 American flags from the back.
I
Amen,
want
brother.
fucking
PT
Cruiser.
Cruiser.
Amen, brother. Afghan 2004.
Yeah, the Desert
Never-
Storm.
Never forget. Those IEDs, fuckers. Fuck me up. Continue, Travis.
All right, so where did we leave off? Richard is
I love when you say continue.
turning on his former friends, right?
So we left off with
He's getting whipped real kinky at kink.com. And
Yeah.
no. Richard,
No, he already did the
Richard-
whipping.
Richard just told. Yeah, no, yeah.
Yeah, shit's all
Henry
good.
just told Richard to smack his.
Oh,
his
yeah,
friend.
Yeah, go pillage an Aquitaine.
So that happens, and of course, these brats were still not happy. So in 1182, young Henry whined to his dad about how he wanted more land. Specifically, he wanted Normandy, which was now in control of his brother Richard. So Henry was like, "No, I'm not going to give you Normandy. That's Richard's. Stop it, kid. I'll raise your allowance." So he gives him more money.
Awesome.
Must be nice.
And if this makes you happy, because Richard has nice things, you guys need to play along. I'll have Richard and Jeffrey pay homage to you as their king. Because, you got a nice thing and be like, all right, these guys will be like, you're better than your brother. You know, your brother's better than you.
Yeah, keep it even, kind of.
Yeah. So Richard is like, fuck that. I'm not paying homage to that bitch ass idiot that just gallops around Ren fairs and doing dressage like a horse idiot. I'm like a warrior king. Like, fuck this kid.
Yeah, he's a cosplayer.
Yeah. Young Henry's like LARPing and Richard is like a captain of the football team. So young Henry and Jeffrey decide to go to war with Richard. They team up. They're like, fuck this brother now. Now Henry sees what's going on. He's Henry II sees what's going on. He's like, God damn these fucking idiots that I seeded. So he joins up with Richard, and during the battles between Richard and Henry II and young Henry and Joffrey, young Henry nearly kills his father with an arrow that nearly missed his head.
Oh.
This is all hearsay, though, because who's out there writing this down? Drunk
Someone
people.
was.
Drunk
Yes.
You
tweeters.
don't think someone was
No,
vlogging
every
the
medieval
whole time?
battlefield, there are just monks just like wandering aimlessly with scrolls. Like,
Is that what they were
Yeah.
doing? They're just like, don't hit me. I'm a piece of
don't
dirt.
hit me.
I'm
I'm
human
writing.
dirt.
Don't hit me. I'm writing.
If you run me over, I won't blame you. I forgive you because I'm basically human trash, but don't.
Stand still, real quick.
You guys look great together.
But then young Henry gets the poopy water disease.
Nice.
Oh,
I like
the
that.
dis.
Dysentery.
He gets
Oh.
the dis.
Gets a disc.
Diss
Old
track.
dicks. Yeah.
And young
Diss
Henry dies at the age of 28.
Damn, old
My-
fucker. I didn't make
No,
it to that.
not really, Mike.
That's
Like
old.
Connor told you.
Mike, I love your use of this term diss track.
Yeah.
We can get that diss
You
track.
got diss tracked by God, I guess. You just got fucking roasted.
Yeah, exactly. It's like totally. It's not so much about a man rapping and rhyming against you in some.
I guess I used it it was kind of weird context.
I like the way you said it better than the way we use it in modern context. Is what I'm saying.
Well, you guys are welcome. That's
Look
what
at
I'm
that
here
diss
for.
track.
Yeah.
I just sent you a bunch of diarrhea.
Basically. That's like God's like, fuck you. This is my
Here's an MP3 of me pooping.
download this shit.
Yeah.
So the kingdom is in complete shock right now.
Shambles.
Love a
And
good sham.
Henry, although he was at Henry II, although he was at war with his son, he's completely devastated, and he's quoted saying this: "He cost me much, but I wish he had lived to cost me more."
That's like dumb because if you're working for him and you're one of his army dudes, it's like, my best friend just died fighting because you wouldn't talk to your son.
And you wanted that.
And
to
you want me to
continue?
die now?
You want that to continue?
Yeah.
You know what? Why don't you get dysentery? Okay.
So to make things worse, Jeffrey, remember he's another tournament pansy boy. He gets trampled to death while during a jousting tournament. A
Oh,
few years later,
That's
He-
objectively funny.
That's painful. That's gotta hurt.
Dude,
He
what
died
an, what an
he died at
idiot.
the age of. He's part of the 27 club.
What?
So-
Kurt Cobain.
He did it.
Yeah.
No one cares about his albums.
no, They didn't
I did.
sell
I
very
thought
well.
they were great. I thought their later ones got a
they're
little.
critically acclaimed but commercial failures.
The first ones are always the best, and
Yeah.
everything else.
It's like so indie. You wouldn't even heard of.
Yeah, it was a little.
Trampled to
yeah.
death.
He was like a little peeper.
So it wasn't even like the jousting went wrong.
That's
He just
bad.
got run over.
I guess. I don't know. Yeah, he's probably
Right,
eating one of them.
He just
turkey
fell
legs.
off his horse off over the fence into
Yeah.
the other horse.
Oh,
No,
Yeah, he
I
was
think
trying
he
to tie
just
his
was
shoe. Well, no, it's like, you don't do that now.
No, I think he was just eating a turkey leg and accidentally like wandered onto somebody else's joust.
Honestly, if I died drunk in the middle of a joust that I wasn't actually participating on,
Not a bad way
that'd
to
be a good
go.
look.
let's go to medieval times. Let's do it. Let's
Yeah.
go this weekend.
Hey, dude, when you come out here, let's go to medieval times.
Yo, you want? We should all go. That'd be cool.
I want to go to medieval times. I would also love to take a group trip to fucking Tuxedo where they do real deal jousting.
Oh, well, we could actually wait. When's the last weekend of that?
I don't know. We got to figure that shit out.
All right, it might be over now because I went once,
So good.
and I think it's like September, so we
Yeah.
might be done.
Wake me up.
So all right, 2 sons dead.
2 sons dead. That just leaves Richard and John. Now,
Oh, Johnny boy.
surprise, surprise. Those will be the next 2 of our roasts.
Ah.
Funny how it works that way.
Mm.
Yeah.
Mike,
Life-
you see, while you have to be here the next 2 episodes,
I'll be here.
so you can say diss track.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
get some diss tracks for you, Travis.
See, so when I get trampled to death by a camel and Tom poops his brains out, you 2 will be the last kings.
Can
There
you
we go.
fix dysentery? Is there a way to you can stop it?
Don't drink the poop water.
Yeah.
But, like,
corpse.
let's say it's happening. You're like,
Essentially.
my shit's falling out. Is there? I guess back then you're just like,
Probably
you're
back
gone.
then there's nothing.
Back then, there was a guy trying to he's like, yeah, I have a cure.
I
Come
got
into my tent.
leeches. I got some leeches to put on you.
They stare into your butthole. They take a good scream in there. They go, stop it. Stop it. And when that doesn't
I
happen,
feel it coming out. Ah.
they blow a cigar in there. They go, it's a Romeo and Juliet.
Yeah.
You gotta
So-
smoke it
I'm
out.
getting paid for this. Oh.
Yeah. So Henry always liked the doughy penis to John. Remember, he was the son that was too young to fuck him over. So that was his favorite boy.
But
Little baby boy.
And even though even though it had been a few years past, and Henry II still hadn't named his heir. But people thought, they were like, he's going to name John. He's going to be like, fuck Richard. Because he could do that. He's a king. He could be like, I disown that son. It's going to be John who's going to be the next king.
He can do whatever he wants. I mean, it doesn't even technically have to be heir, right? He can go like, hey, it's Chuck E. Cheese. That's the next king.
Yeah, I mean, William the Conqueror was a bastard. Like a half child, halfling.
What bastard back in those terms, what was that? He was didn't have knees?
Yeah, he had no knees.
Okay. Just want to clear that up.
So obviously, Richard felt that he was like, I deserve to be it because I'm the next boy in line, obviously.
I'm head
Second
boy.
eldest. Yeah. So by the late 1180s, King Louis VII of France had died, and his son, King Philip II Augustine, had taken over. Now, Philip used a similar tactic that his father had used, which was basically just try to break up the... I gotta say the fucking word again.
Plantagenet?
Plantagenet.
Yeah.
Plantagenet,
Yeah. So Philip had just used the same tactic, try to break up the Plantagenet family dynamics as much as possible to divide and conquer. So Philip buddies up with Richard, and he started to sow the seeds of doubt in Richard's ear that he was not going to become the king, and that Henry was going to give his royal heir to John. Now, we're going to get into a lot of the Philip-Richard dynamic next week when we also talk about them going on crusade together. So a lot more violence next week.
Oh, nice.
Well, this
Love violence.
Philip-Richard dynamic sounds like some kind of audio company.
Well, this from Philip and Rich, I think we're gonna get into.
Yeah, a little bit of touching
Or
each
docking
other's
now,
fingers
Travis?
together and winky
I
face.
think Philip and Richard
eggplant.
might have docked.
You think so?
Yeah.
I think there are rumors of that.
We'll
Little
see.
violence.
You
We'll see.
feel the electric in the air when you dock.
So
I'm breathing
Richard
in
paid,
static.
That's how they discovered electricity.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it wasn't actually a key. It was a penis, and it wasn't a kite. It was another
It was
penis.
another penis.
Yeah.
The friction. It was like a match.
Yeah.
And it wasn't lightning. It wasn't a thunderstorm. It was just another penis.
Okay, son, let's change the future.
Oh,
Imagine the fire strip like with the DeLorean, but on a penis. So they just like went back to the future.
Woo! I'm in 1774.
Great Scott. They're docking.
So Richard pays homage to Philip. He's like, you're my liege. Remember, he's the Duke of Normandy and Aquitaine and all that area in France. So he's like, you're my lord. And both of them attack Henry's territories in France.
Okay. Make it happen.
This time, Henry is not so successful. Now, the turning point of the conflict was where Henry was sieging one of these castles that was held by Philip. And he had the bright idea of starting a fire at the walls of the castle and
Nice.
like blowing it into on the other side. Like, but the wind caught it and just burnt down all of his troops and like the siege line and all of his siege weapons behind him.
Little setback.
Yeah.
Push through it.
You know, we were going to take advantage of them, and then I destroyed all my own shit.
Yeah, I gotta make it fair.
To make matters worse,
Fucking
Henry,
Christ, this guy.
Mike, you just turned 26.
Yes.
Henry is
Thank
now
you.
56. That's old. When you keep saying it's old when you're like 28, no, 56 is actually pretty old back then.
He's got knees that
Well,
are
you
the
got my
same
knees
age
right
as
now,
you
right now, so
with the knee area.
Yeah.
Because you're
I was 40. I was 40 as a guy. So I was like early 40s. He said.
well.
That is bullshit. I mean,
The guy, when you told it to me, this was 2 years ago. You were like, "Hey, I got the knees of a 50-year-old." So
Something
now
like
your
that.
knees would be 52.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey, well,
birthday to
that's-
Mike's knees.
I made terrible decisions in my life. Everyone. That's basically what it comes down to.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be paying for. I'm gonna be 40 and have an 80-year-old's body. So
I'll just get you a wheelchair.
give me an Elon Musk blood transfer, and
Yeah.
we'll call it a day.
I'll get you a blood boy.
Yeah. So
One day.
Henry is 56. I have bleeding hemorrhoids. Henry had bleeding ulcers,
Ugh.
which
Ugh.
was slowly killing.
Doesn't sound that fun.
That's stress. You got to relax. You got to stop eating that mattress.
Yeah. So Henry called a parlay. He waved, because originally waving the white flag, we've talked about it. Waving the right flag wasn't surrender. It was
Let's
meet
chat.
and talk shit over. So he met up with Richard and Philip, and he was in a losing position at this point after he burnt down all of his siege weapons. So they were coming to terms of surrender. Now, the terms of surrender was basically Henry was forced to name Richard his heir to the throne.
Oh, so resentment.
Yeah.
Oh.
So when Henry had to give, when Richard had to give the kiss of peace to Henry. No, Henry
had to give it to Richard at this point.
Henry is kissing his son's hand.
Right. England's confusing, so I don't blame you at all for.
Yeah, they're kissing their sons on the mouth.
Yeah, just come here. Who's talking about death or respect or any of these concepts? Give me a smack right
Give me a
here.
smooch.
Come on. Let's go down. We'll go.
Give me a Tom Brady special.
Yeah, mate, hold that one for me.
So Henry leans in after this kiss and he goes, God grant me that I will not die before I've had my revenge on you.
Ooh,
Spooky
shit.
time.
To his own son. Unfortunately, he died 2 days later.
Oh,
God heard him and said, no.
not today.
Yeah, no. So, just to go into the last moments of this Henry II, he died. The King of England died in Chichon Castle, which is in France, on the 6th of July, 1189. Apparently, the final straw that drove him over the edge, they said his heart stopped after he heard this. So the clerks were reading off a list of all the barons and nobles that had sided with Richard and betrayed Henry II. And at the top of the list was none other than his golden boy son, John.
Uh-oh.
Oh, the
my
good one.
The good one.
My favorite kid.
My number one boy.
The second thing on the bottom of the list is that the Dodgers lost the World Series, and now I'm going to sleep forever.
His last words were, shame. Shame on a conquered king.
Oh,
Oof, how deep.
And then he died as fuck. So he died as fuck. And then, so it's said that Richard visited his father's tomb at Fontaineau Abbey, and Richard knelt beside the tomb, and he was like, I'm sorry for being a dickhead. Now, the lid of the tomb was an effigy, so a statue of the king. It's still there today. And it's said that it cried blood when Richard appeared, which was a sign of a murderer.
I believe that would
Fried
be
in.
HP sauce.
Ketchup.
Well,
it's
if we
ketchup.
want to, that's for the Americans. You're right.
HP is European ketchup.
Well, it's
No,
similar.
it's more like
House of
A1 steak
Parliament.
sauce. It's
Yeah.
like a sweet A1.
A1. Like
It's pretty
steak
good.
sauce.
I'll be honest.
It's
you
it's
like it.
better than ketchup.
I want some
Yeah.
azure.
Yeah, dude. Let's dip it. So
You guys
look,
can go
Travis,
Outback?
you didn't even ask anyone how he did it.
Yeah, what
you
the
just slipped
fuck,
right in
Travis?
there.
You fucking just jumped
I
the
like
gun.
that.
Fuck, I broke tradition.
I actually like it.
I like it too.
I
Just
say,
I kind of like the shock where I was like, oh, what's his
Yeah.
revenge going to be? Oh, he's dead.
do you guys want to do away with that? Like, ask me how he died?
sure.
Because I've thought of doing away with that for the last 45 episodes that I've presented.
All right, let's kill it.
That
dude.
shit's dumb.
Fuck it.
Travis, how's this guy die?
That's the last
He done
time.
did
you
it,
did
dude.
The last time you're going to hear it on the
last
show.
words.
Yo, like he hit like a gnarly shove it and fucking chipped his
Oh,
knee,
dope
bro.
shove.
He died with his son's balls in his mouth. He couldn't breathe because
He had given him the kiss of peace.
Yeah.
So any thoughts on Henry? I got a little bit of closing statement, but what do you guys think about it? Is he a dick? Is he just dumb? I don't know.
He just seems like a guy of his time.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. This sounds like someone that doesn't know what they're doing. So I would be doing. I'd be hanging out all day. I'd
You'd
be
be
chilling.
You wouldn't be getting ulcers. You'd probably be getting AIDS or something.
Probably
but not
have
ulcers.
syphilis. Pretty dope syphilis.
Yeah, you had a
Well,
raging
you wouldn't
case of syphilis, but I think he
Yeah.
did too. So
Your mind, you don't even know. Your mind goes, so you don't even know when you have it after a point, right?
Well, you wouldn't have had syphilis because we hadn't been to the new
Oh,
world
right.
yet.
Oh, so what do I have? Like just terrible, like herpes,
no,
Yeah, warts.
gonorrhea.
you had probably warts.
This is like HPV.
Yeah.
Gonorrhea.
You would have been pregnant.
Yeah,
That's an engine.
I'd have a
disease,
hot kid.
Syphilis.
An angel disease.
I'd have a hot
Thanks for
engine
taking
kid.
that one off at the end there because I thought I said something racist before. I usually do. I usually scratch my head and go, "What did I say that
We're
was
not
racist
associated
tonight?"
with Tom.
Listen, but I can say this. I'm going to double down. What I said earlier about those English people being out of their minds,
I love English
I
people.
stand exactly as I stood before. Travis, Henry's a nut job.
Well, next week we're gonna focus on Henry's bloodthirsty son, Richard the Lionheart,
Dicky
and his
Loins.
conquests in the Third Crusade against Saladin.
We're going to the Holy Land.
I love Saladin.
What the hell
Good.
is that?
Yeah,
Salad.
very
Saladin?
interesting guy.
Saladin
And,
was like
and
one of
just
the-
to mention, there were other things that made Richard or Henry II a dickhead that I will reveal in the next episode.
Oh,
I
cliffhanger.
basically just wanted to focus just on Henry, but there's other things that are going to come into play when we talk about Richard
Nice.
that makes Henry even more of a dick.
Richard's gonna be a good one.
All right. Well, we're going to be here. Travis, thank you very much for flying in from Portland all the way
Travis,
to
well,
be
yes,
on to be in Miami with us.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm that green thing behind you.
Yeah,
That's
this
me.
fucking the Mike Pence fern over here.
Yeah, I'm a Mike Pence fern.
Yeah, it's got a Bible in it. I threw that out.
That's hot.
Anyway, Connor, thank you very much for being here as
Thanks for
usual.
having me.
You know, love having you on the show, correcting Travis with these long words.
Plantagenet.
Yeah,
Plantagentia.
Mike, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Happy
Yeah.
birthday, Mike.
I'm
And
very unfortunate. For
Mike, congratulations on becoming a man. I've taken the tip of your penis and I put it in my back pocket.
Well, thank you.
But first, he gave it the kiss a piece.
yeah,
Yeah.
You you find me in 30 years and you'll give that back to me, and we will have a very special bonding moment. I guess we'll be like, wow.
But
this
it's going to look like the Mummy in his second iteration.
It's gonna look like a
kinda
Chex
jerky.
Mix chip. You know, those the hard brown one.
well, one of those like little brown the
hard-
pumpernickel
the hard-
chips.
Yeah, the pumpernickel chips.
yeah,
Really.
it's tight.
I'm thinking it's more like your Jack Links that you get every morning.
You know what? It's probably gonna be like the crevice pieces, the ones that are like in
Oh,
the
yeah.
crevice of the side of the bags.
Like right next to the shit you find in your shoes that they put in there.
Yeah, basically. I almost ate one of those today. I was like, oh fuck, it's not salt. Hey, don't eat the crevice pieces of jerky. I'll
All
say
right,
that.
watch the crevice pieces,
Yeah.
especially you English people.
Careful with the crevices, everyone.
Yeah.
If you're English, hit me up.
All right, yeah. You ready
Yeah.
to fucking donk on
You're gonna dock.
yeah, donk?
Create some
Mike-
electricity.
Mike is pretty much a vampire of foreskins.
Yeah, I'm collecting them all. It's like Pokemon. Let's go.
Yep.
The Gilgo Beach foreskin murderer.
He's collecting enough foreskins to make a luggage set.
I'm gonna make a nice puka shell necklace out of it.
Nice.
Oh God, yeah.
Oh, Jesus.
South Shore. Okay, thanks everyone for listening. Go to patreon.com/roastmortemcast. Check out our social medias, roastmortemcast across the board. I think we have a Facebook that nobody checks.
I'm gonna plug something. My Venmo account.
Sure, plug your Venmo account. What do you
Do
want?
Mike Regan 69420.
All right, go give him money. He's poor.
Buy,
He's
yeah, buy Mike some Jack Links.
Buy me
Stick
Counter
around.
Strike skins, everyone.
Yeah, stick around for next week when we talk about Richard the Lionheart continuing the lineage.
Thank you, Shane.
He's quite
Bye.
the dick, I'd say.
Penis Shane.
So we cut that out. Me saying dick at the end. Fucking, I hate hearing this.